there's a definite that this opportunity is definitely around you. And I really want to say it's not far away, or I don't know whether you've heard snippets of this.
Yeah, I didn't hear you. What did you say?
I don't know whether you've heard snippets of this around the opportunity coming in as far as career for you, because I just feel like it's not far away. And when I get shown that, it's like it's... Sorry, I can't hear you with that very well. A salon,
how long do you think it'll be? Yeah.
Oh, how long? Okay. Say, oh, that's a
long. How long?
Not that far away. I just feel like you're being on hold for a certain purpose, and it's like not feeling. It's interesting. I've got a kangaroo right beside me. Want to go to? It's like he's showing me 4 to 8. So I feel like 4 to 8 weeks. It's something that is going to come out of the blue, and something that you're going to love. So can I ask, with your career and what you're doing, that there's been changes or something that you've been, it's like a long-term dream. So if I was to say to you, okay, let's step into what it is you've always wanted to do, but you've been held back, why aren't you stepping into that right now?
I don't know.
Okay, because it's like that's what he's showing me. Your dad's a very strong man. I feel like I want to go to a great work ethic, and you do too. And it's almost like he's showing me pennies from heaven. So don't give up on this run of bad luck. It is only temporary. And it's like you're going to look back at this period and go, you know what? This happened for a reason, because there's a lot of positives coming around this opportunity. And he wants you to know that. And your dad loves you very much. And I feel like I want to refer to, in spirit, he's stepping in strongly, and it's almost like he didn't get to do that in life, I feel, or there was something around regretting not being able to give you all that you needed.
Absolutely was.
Yeah, so it's like in spirit he looks around. So yeah, when they come through like that, honor, like the fact that he's around, connect in with him and say, come on, Dad. And I feel like with Dad, he was a bit of a straight shooter, so it's like, we want to be held up. Come on, Dad. Get on with this opportunity. I'm really excited, and I need you to guide me here. And I also do feel long-term you're moving. You're physically moving from where you are.
You think so?
I don't see that soon, but I do see you. There's something around relocation, and this will be around stepping into your career path. Travel is important to you, so please take time out to travel, explore the road less travelled, all of that kind of thing is really relevant for you.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can turn the camera around a little bit without getting out.
When is the move? Oh, the move's going to happen at the same time as... Okay.
I feel like the career aspect will happen first, okay? So it's almost like career first, but I do see you relocating at some point.
Okay. All right, because I really hate this job and I wanted to do anything different.
Yeah.
Or any place different.
Please, let me know. I would love to hear from you. I do stand by what I say, when I'm connected with readings. Australia Psychic Cowgirl on Facebook, you are welcome to message me, because I would love to hear about this, because your dad's coming through really strongly to say this is definitely happening. So do not doubt. It's honestly a case of you just being held back for that reason to redirect you. But you're going to love what you're doing next. Great.
Did he say anything about my sister?
Your sister's in spirit as well with him?
No. No.
Okay, no, there's not there. I feel like he's on his own up there. So your sister's still here, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. So your sister, okay. Is your sister not far from where you live now?
No, I live in Mexico.
Okay, where is your sister based? Is she in the
United
States as well?
California.
Yeah. Okay. So she's going through a little bit of a struggle at the moment. Is there something around her health as well? Can I ask?
Yes, definitely, yes.
Okay. I feel like I want to go to, there's a lot of strength coming through for her, and because I feel like she's defied the odds, or there's something around she's gone along this journey better than expected or anticipated. And it's almost like he's showing me she's got that strength to get through this or to be guided through this on her own terms, he's telling me. Has to be on her own terms.
Okay.
Okay, so tell her to follow her gut feeling on that. I feel like also in regards to treatment, I want to look at different options. I'm not just going down the path that I'm led to believe is where I need to be, because I feel like with your sister, there's a lot of intuition. You have it as well, and we want to tune into that and go, this is what feels right for me. So tell her not to doubt that.
Yeah. I'll tell her. Yeah.
So please tell her that. And Dad's around, and like I said, he's coming through in spirit. He specifically stepped up today to say he's here to make things right. He's here to really be able to do things in spirit that he didn't do here in life. So please know that he is here. There's something he's shown me with a flag. I feel like, I don't know whether he used to barrack for a team or there's some kind of flag with a symbol on it, but there's a flag that he's showing me in reference to somebody. So I don't know where that fits, but I trust that.
I have no idea.
Somebody.
What's the symbol?
All right, Valerie. So this is only, it's just a speed hump in the road. So don't be put off by that. Just be an allowance. And, like sometimes we need to go back to let's have trust and faith in what is to come. And for you, that's what I feel like you need to do is go, okay, universe, you've given me the shit sandwich, as I like to say, and that's okay because I know that the next step is coming to me. So I'm just going to be in allowance. And it's almost like you let go of that and allow that to happen. You'll find things will just fall into place as they need to. But it's not far away, so don't be disheartened.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, cool. And look for the butterflies, I have to say to you too. Just saw one flying around. Look for the butterflies. That's
okay,
a sign
I will.
of spirit for you. Okay, good luck. Keep the faith. You've
all
got
right,
this.
thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Valerie. Take care. All right, I've got my second caller, Bella, in New Orleans, Louisiana. Bella, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Really good. Really good. Wow, you've got a really amazing energy around you, just connecting to your, names are a really big thing for me. So just connecting in with your name, I'm like, wow, this girl's here to do some really cool stuff. Have you stepped into, and I feel like I want to go to my big picture in what I do, so it's like my sole purpose. Are you doing that at the moment?
Am I doing what at the moment? I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. Your sole purpose. I feel like there's an aspect of I'm following my sole purpose, my path, and almost like I want to go to what I would say is like your career, because you're here to do some great things.
Okay.
So it's almost like if you're not into it yet, we need to be, because you're here to make your mark. You're not just here to live a life and exist. There's a beautiful lady coming through in spirit for you who, like I've got a loving heart, and there's a connection to red hearts around her. So I just had to share that with you. I feel like that's a really strong connection with her, and it's like she also acts as your guidance as well. So she's quite relevant in, asking for help, or if needing assistance in spirit, she's there for you.
Okay.
Okay, like you're well guided. So do you connect? And because I feel like with your energy, you're quite spiritual, and you're quite you've got your psychic sense is quite strong.
Okay.
Can't quite hear your response there.
I'm trying to clearly understand what you're saying, so the phone is going in and out.
Okay, no worries. So it's more or less, do you have a spiritual practice, or do you follow that? Because I feel like your intuition and your psychic side is really strong. Do you honor that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like we're stepping up with that. We're moving even stronger. And this is to do with your life purpose as well. So are you working in that field now?
I'm in the process of opening up my own business.
Yay. Awesome. So this will be stepping into your soul purpose, because there's success around you. And when I look at, sole purpose is what you're meant to be doing and something that you rock at. And it's like, for you, I want to say congratulations because you're finally doing that. And that's what I felt like from Spirit. It's like you're stepping into this, and it's exciting, I want to say.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's no doubt around that. With you starting your own business, is there a shop involved in that? Is there a premises as to where you're working out of?
No, right now it's from me just being able to work from home.
Yeah. Okay. So I see a shop at some point. So it's like they're showing me and within that, it's like you will be expanding. So this is going to take off. And just what Spirit is showing me is you'll start off as you are, but it won't take long before you will be like, oh, I need to expand here. And I see other aspects that you're going to have in amongst your business. So there's others that are like-minded that bring things to the table a little bit different to you, that you're going to gather them together.
Okay.
Okay? And there's a lot with what they're sharing to me about markups and things. So are you retailing products as well with your business?
No.
I know there's services. Not yet.
Taxes.
Because I feel like...
No, not yet.
Yeah, okay. Because Spirit is showing me there's retail around it. So I feel like that's part of stepping into the shop when the time is right for you. But I want to say don't be scared to think big, because this can be as big as you want it to be. And it's like sometimes we sit a little bit in fear when we're stepping into our personal power. And I really feel for you, you're stepping into your personal power. 2020 is big for you.
Okay.
Okay. And I also want to say in that, don't be afraid of losing people or people moving away from you, because this is about you honouring you, who you are, and your own personal power. And some people, sometimes people that are around us struggle with that. And I just want to say to you, don't be put off by if there's some that exit. It's because that's what's needed. And it's almost like it's your time to shine. You will attract people that are the same. And these people will be supporting you on your journey. Hopefully I get to connect with you when I'm over in America. Oops, I think we've dropped out. Let's see if we can get Bella back up again. Yay. Let's see. If not, I'll just keep going. I'll keep tuning in for Bella. Divinely guided, she looks for the signs. A lot of signs around her at the moment. So she's being shown things, whether she realises it or not. And the reason I keep talking is Bella can have a listen to this and get this information, rather than if the line's out, we don't want her to miss out. Back again. Bella, how are you?
Hi.
Hi. Sorry, that was funny. Now what was I saying? So, yeah, so are you prepared for this big step up, can I ask?
Am I prepared for what?
You're stepping into your own business and starting things off and honouring who you are.
Yes, I am.
Good. Where do I get 2 children from around? I feel like I'm connecting to 2 children.
I have 2 children that live with me and a grandchild.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, yeah, because I feel like they're rather sweet and supportive. It's like everyone wants to help you. But again, what I was saying, I don't know whether you got that before that you dropped out, is don't be afraid to let go of the ones that don't support you or don't understand your journey. That you're not here to please other people. But I do see some people stepping out, but there's also people stepping in, and they're like-minded, supportive people. And you're going to inspire others, because I see groups gathering around you. So again, be prepared for that, which is exciting. It's like you have a great story to share. So I feel like this is in relation to your life and situations that you've been through. Others will get inspiration from. They're also showing me this lovely lady. She's so sweet. I'm just trying to work out if she's a grandmother. I feel like she's a mother connection somewhere. So whether she's on your mother's side, but she's a very nurturing lady. She's also showing me you're writing a book. So I feel like I need to say start to write things down now. And it's almost like start to do that like sooner rather than later, if that makes sense to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so don't hesitate with that. Now, is there one other question before I have to wrap you would like to ask me?
The person that I'm involved with, is that the person that I'm supposed to continue on this journey with? I know that's kind of like a cliche question, but there's been so many ups and downs, and I'm confused as to whether or not ties need to be cut and just start fresh or just continue to try.
I feel like for you, it's like step up or step out. And it's almost like with you starting your own business, your focus is going to be on that. If they don't step up with you, that's the answer. And it's almost like they're kind of like this. So I feel like there's, but a little bit like I said earlier, those that aren't going to support you are going to go. So it's almost like they're not meant to be there. They won't be around. It'll be like there'll be a decision made and they will be left. I do feel for you there's somebody new. That's my thoughts on it.
Okay.
And not that far away, so don't be put off. If this one doesn't hang around, there'll be somebody else stepping up. And somebody different to you had before. So look for the change. But definitely somebody new, I feel.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to have to wrap up before I get the cut off. So thank you so much for connecting. Bella, don't hesitate, Australia Psychic Cowgirl. You can contact me on Facebook for any further questions. More than happy to help. Thanks, guys. See you same time, different place next week. Cheers. Woohoo.
A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for New York City Celebrity Psychic with Perry Lyons. Perry Lyons. Live from PerryLyonsBrilliance.Wixsite.com/Perry Lyons. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, Facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites, AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv. This is New York City Celebrity Psychic on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, Captain. It's me, Perry Lyons, New York City Celebrity Psychic. And I'm celebrating with Big Diet Pepsi here today. Because today I did something that's taken me 7 years to do. And I just want to reassure you, if any of you are going through really hard times, I completely understand. And I want you to know that I'm validating rather than invalidating you when I say that 7 years of love and hard work and moments when I actually dropped to my knees and said, I can't do this anymore. I got back up and I could do it. When, I put my mother, who's going to be 90 in May, into the most beautiful assisted living facility I've ever seen. And because I've been taking care of her by myself for 7 years now, and going back and forth from my home in Brooklyn to Annapolis, and every few days. And she's very well taken care of where she is. I somehow managed to earn the dosh to keep her there. And so I'm telling you, there were so many moments. And I was like, I love my mother, but so I'm taking care of her 24/7 and living in the suburbs. And I'm a native New Yorker. I don't drive. So I thought it was impossible. And with a lot of meditation and prayer and great friends, and also support from all of my friends and fans on this network, you guys have been amazing. So I just want to say thank you, and thank you, higher power, and thank you to the Blessed Church that I'm going to see next week, my double chin. No, I'm kidding. But most of all, I'd like to say, if you have a moment right now, first, count your blessings for everything you have. And second, I want you to take a second and just find the Moonstruck TV /A1R, looks like air, but it's spelled A1R radio app. Mine is on my iPhone, but it's also available for non-iPhones, Androids. Right. So if you would like to be a part going forward of our fantastic programming, and specifically if you want to be part of my 9 o'clock Wednesday live family of cherished ducklings, which you all are, please take a moment either during or after this show and download the app, because we have so many great people, which of course I am one of, but everybody on the station is really good. And since I'm the real deal, I know the real deal when I see it. Everybody who is on Moonstruck are people I am impressed by. And I am not easily impressed, especially by other psychics. I'm sorry, but there's one psychic out there who gave an interview in which she said, like, when she was 5, all of these doctors came to see her and interview her, and she granted them an audience because they were so international professors. They were so impressed. When I was 5, if I said, I see a ghost, they'd be like, you've had too much sugar, go to your room. I'm not saying she's fibbing. But everybody on the Moonstruck A1R network is the real deal. So download the app today. And I'd like to give a shout out to Dave Solomon and Constance Solomon for being my friends, producers, and just great people, and really cool people. Okay, so I've been up like 3 days, moving mom by myself into Atria Manresa, great place. So I'm going to take callers in a second. I also want to say that if I seem a little giddy, on the way back from the assisted living place, I confess, I stopped in a little place in Annapolis, Maryland, called the Reynolds Tavern, 1747, and sat down and I had a glass of champagne. Because sometimes when the light at the end of the tunnel turns out not for once to be an oncoming train, you have to celebrate. I got in a really interesting discussion with a handsome homicide detective named Al, which was fascinating. So that's about it for now. So, cherished ducklings, take a deep breath. Ready? Like that. I knew you could do it. Try to keep doing that every day on a voluntary or involuntary basis because breathing is good for you. And when you're ready, just get yourself centered and then call our number. I believe we have a caller from Sauk City. And I don't think I caught your name, love. So if you can tell me your name. Are you there?
It's Suzanne.
Oh, I love that name. Isn't it great to have a song about you, or does that annoy you?
Well, she's kind of crazy.
It could be worse. I have a friend whose name is Rhonda. Honey, you got off easy. So tell me your birthday and speak up a little because I dropped my phone a little earlier.
Okay.
So tell me your birthday. So that's how I connect.
My name is Suzanne, and I was wondering if you could tell me about my career being successful, and if I can stay in the house that I am residing in now. Not quite sure what your gifts are. My birthday is June 8th, 1960.
Very good day. And you're just a baby, in case you're thinking otherwise. Honestly, I mean, I hate to sound annoyingly positive, and I don't get to say this to very many people. You might want to ask somebody I did a reading for earlier today, who was like, okay, I'm going to call back, and could you give me a different reading? I'm like, no, he's married, dump him. With you, the news is all good. What I want you to do is check to make sure that you have paid. This is going to sound a little like boring to everybody, but it's the small things in life that are important. So check to make sure the taxes are paid on your property. For instance, I just paid the land tax on my mother's property here. And it wasn't something, I've been in apartments since I was 17. And my own apartment's not wandering from place to place. But I do feel that you are going to, this is interesting. I'm going to take the second part of the question first. You're going to stay in the house you're in. Take Saturday and Sunday. Ask like your aunt or your niece or somebody or your uncle, whatever, to look after your gorgeous kids. Sit down and make sure like utilities are all paid up and that if you have a mortgage, that you're sort of in line with that. I don't get you losing this house, and I definitely don't get you losing this house through lack of money. We'll get back to that in a minute. I do get you, the only slight possibility I get of you losing this house is if you somehow, it's easy to do, if you lose track of like a bill, something that you were supposed to pay, or if you lose track of, we have so many responsibilities. So just stay on top of the mortgage payments and the land tax and the Caterpillar tax, whatever there is. But
so be diligent with what's due.
What's that?
You said you're trying to tell me to be diligent with what the debts are.
I'm telling you, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Say that one more time. I have to get a new iPhone.
I'm listening to you very well. You said to be diligent with the debts. I will be diligent.
No, I don't think you're going to be eaten by debt. I am not getting that. What I am getting is just stay on top of monthly payments. Just know when they are. Pay the minimum, because here's the thing. You're in a job that you're very good at. You have very strong administrative and managerial qualities. And also, people like you. They just do. Not my fault. So I think I'm getting your move upwards being either at the same company where it might seem like you're going sideways for a bit, right? But then you're going to go up. Or it's possible that you might find a job with managerial and administrative strengths, which I think, and people skills. You're a born manager. Ask your kids. They'll tell you. But I think a job that's coming up for you, I think you're going to have a review at your job presently in March, like mid-March. And I think you're going to do quite well off the review. If we don't give you either a raise or a promotion by the end of March, I would start looking elsewhere. But people know you in the field you're in. It is.
I'm a clairvoyant.
What?
I'm a clairvoyant.
Oh, you're doing.
I am a reader, and I'm trying to grow my business.
Then you need to get on the administrative and managerial side of it. I'm sorry, other clairvoyants are the hardest people for me to read for. So I apologize. I don't know if you've noticed that in your business.
I'm trying my best not to be flaky. When it comes to my business. You're not
flaky, though. You're just a Gemini. It's different. And you're a Gemini year of the rat. So you're very, it's not like you have ADD. It's not like you don't. I still think that you have administrative and managerial talent. And you're obviously, if you're making a living as a clairvoyant, you're obviously very, very good with people, and people like you. Because if people don't like you, no matter how good you are, they don't come back. So I would start using your natural born administrative talents and start thinking of, I know you think of it as a job, but start taking yourself and your talents seriously. This is a job. And in fact, it's a job that those of us who are good at, we work like 18 hours a day, people like you and me. It's only the charlatans that do like the 4-hour work week. So, but
you see everything positive.
What?
But you do see everything as positive.
Yeah, I'm saying that you will make, if you're not making at least as much money by this time next month, then either put your kids to work and help them set you up with a website and MailChimp or whatever you need and promotions, or your own boss, promote yourself and do like, if you're terrific, get in touch with Constance and Dave and see if you're good enough to get a show on Moonstruck TV. I have a feeling that you're much better than you're promoting yourself as. I have a feeling that you're the real deal. And what I'm telling you is, as your own boss, give yourself a promotion in a month if you're not making the money you want to make. And that can include going to the local yoga studio and saying, can I read from here 2 days a week? Doing self-promotion. There's a lot of stuff you can do. You can self-publish a book and sell it on Amazon for 99 cents. Call it, How to Be Clairvoyant. I'd buy that. I'm always studying. My book, which is called, I just trademarked this, so How to Seduce Your Destiny, is coming out in about
Oh, wow.
So it's going to be something. So
I'll be watching out for that.
What?
I'll watch out for that.
Please do. I'll keep promoting it on Moonstruck. You're very talented, and you're not going to have your house taken away from you. Just
Thank you
stay
so
on top.
much.
You've got a lot of water in your chart, I can tell, in your astrological chart. So just get out of the emotions.
Thank you very much.
Saturday and Sunday. What?
I said thank you.
You are.
Thank
You're
you very
talented,
much.
I can tell. My pleasure. If you want, I always, people who call into the show, I have a Perry Lyons Facebook page. So that's Perry as in Periwinkle, Lions as in lions and tigers and bears with a Y. So it's Lions
Right.
with a Y, Perry Lyons. I'm on Facebook personally and professionally. And for people who call in, I'm always happy to give like a free 10 or 15 minute consult on anything you want. So if you just want to call a fellow clairvoyant and touch base about business tips, happy to do that. So get in touch with me, okay?
Much appreciated. Thank you.
You're welcome. Much love, darling. And the song about you is one of my all-time favorite songs. Okay. Thank you. And who do we have coming up next, Dave? Well, our next caller, just tell me who you are, because I'm dying to meet you. Who are you?
I'm Bridget from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Hey, I've never heard it pronounced like that. Bridget?
Bridget. Yes.
I love
Thank
that.
you.
It's beautiful. Thank you. And you said you're calling from Columbus?
No, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh, Tulsa. Sorry. As I said, great. My producer just texted, okay. Dave, how am I supposed to know that's going to mean Oklahoma rather than that things are okay? Anyway, so Bridget, I'm very glad to meet you. And if you'll just tell me first your birthday, you don't have to tell me the year. Don't ask, don't tell. So what day are you born? Darling?
What was the question again?
What day were you born? Because I tune in on people through their birthday.
March 9th.
Oh, fellow Pisces. Rock on. Bad Pisces soul.
Yes.
I'm March 18th. Happy almost birthday, babe. So
Thank you.
You're welcome. And it's amazing how both of us are going to be 10 years younger on our next birthday. It's just miraculous.
Right?
And my producer just said that Constance Solomon's birthday is March 9th. She's the other producer of the show. So obviously, stated for you to call. And how can I help you?
That's awesome. Happy birthday to all of us.
Yeah, really. Truly. I believe that's also the actor Oscar Isaac's birthday. But, very attractive people. So how can I help you?
Yes, I was just wondering, what life has in store for me in relationship and finances. And
the relationship thing is probably not going to start up seriously until next November. I'm not saying that you're not going to have fun before then. I'm just saying that next November is lighting up for me as for when your next big relationship, which might have already existed for a little while, is going to get serious. You're very attractive. You're a very attractive person. So attracting people has never been the problem. Attracting people who treat you well, maybe it's time to think about that. What I would do is make a list. Hold on, I've got a robocall again on my iPhone. So I'm just going to keep talking, and you'll see me in a minute after the bloody robocall is done.
Okay.
So I haven't gone anywhere. I'm still here. As soon as that call stops calling, you'll see me. Anyway, hello. I'm back. So here's what I get for you in the next 2 minutes. Whatever gender you prefer, what I'd like you to do, and that's he, she, or non-binary, or identifies as whatever. What I'd like you to do is immediately after this program, I would like you to sit down, light a candle, only for a few minutes. Don't leave it unattended. Sorry, if you can't see me, somebody is calling me obsessively from Tallahassee, Florida. So if you can't see me, you'll see me again in a minute. I apologize for the inconvenience. So as soon as we get done, I want you to write a list of everything you want in a partner. And don't think about it too much. Just think like, do I want this person to be from, a different country? Do I want this person to be honest. I want this person to be faithful to me. I want this person to love me romantically and as a friend and companion. I want this person to be physically compatible. I want this person to be financially stable and mentally sane and healthy and fun. Perhaps I kind of like bald heads, but that's just me. But write everything you want in a partner down on a piece of paper, and then really look at it, and then burn it over the sink using the same candle. Make sure that everything is extinguished, and then say, "So it is, and so it shall be." But I do see your next relationship coming up in November. I also see that you're not very happy in your day job, and that I think starting a side hustle with something that you don't even know you're good at right now would be a very good idea for you. You need a little more income. Can you see me? Hear me? There's something that you do well. It might be like arts and crafts that you take for granted. But as a side
I've been
hustle,
feeling like I should
you
do
could make
something,
some money with that. And I'm going to say that there's an old flame who wants to come back into your life. As the great Michael Smith song, Demon Lover, says, watch out for people who belong in your past. Don't let them back in your life. So call back next week because we got cut off a bit. But I'm just going to reassure you, by November of next year, you're going to be in a solid, committed partnership with somebody who deserves you in a good way. And start thinking about that side hustle. Call in next week because I have more ideas for you. And contact me on Perry Lyons on Facebook. As I said, I always give 15 minutes free to any caller who reaches out. Okay? So, cherished ducklings, thanks for being here with me tonight. Thanks for celebrating just being alive, and being able to talk and breathe and hear and see. And much love to all of you. And I'll see you next week here on Moonstruck, A1R. Download the app now. I'm not going to let you not. And just love and light to all of you, really and sincerely. Okay. Bye-bye.
listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Divine Guidance with Angel Tuzigno. Live from CrystalClear101.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Divine Guide on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Angel's Divine Guidance with Angel. So, today I have a special guest. I have Tamron, as you can see on the screen. She is a spiritually guided who thrives on teaching and supporting individuals on how to effortlessly shift into their magic zone. Whether business or personal life, Tamron gives proven strategies to save time, money, and frustration. She's a certified health coach, former private investigator, and an alchemist, healer, and she is clairvoyant. She creates powerful, personalized remedies. Tamron is the founder of Tamron's Place, a retreat for spiritual growth that offers life-changing courses, personalized consultations, and customized retreats. And she is a wonderful, wonderful lady. I have sat by her through the Galaxy Psychic Fairs, and I can't tell you how she rocks this world, girls. So, let's get right into the questions, girly. What's the difference between being an empath versus being compassionate?
Well, thank you, Angel, and thank you for the intro. I would love to share this information with your listeners because I feel that there are so many people out there today that don't realize how sensitive they actually are. So I want to clarify for everybody listening today that an empath is someone who feels the energy of everything, of other people, situations, walking into a room, and they don't understand that it's not necessarily their energy that they're feeling. So a compassionate person is someone who understands that they can feel and sense what's happening for other people, yet it does not affect them. So there's a difference there. So when you can learn how to shield yourself and to understand what somebody else is and what's actually yours, you will have so much less anxiety. And I feel like that is a big epidemic right now in our world.
Oh, very much so. Okay, so just for our viewers out there, how can we manage the intensely sensitive energy that's going on right now? Because I know I'm being hit left, right, and center with this retrograde. So how can we use the full moon and take advantage for it to be more beneficial in today's world and the chaos that we put up with on a day-to-day basis?
That's a great question, Angel. And we have the full moon energy coming up early next week, Monday or Tuesday, depending on when that is. And right now we are in the midst of Mercury retrograde. So it's like magnified to 100 times. And this is why a lot of people are feeling so intense this week. A lot of people are having meltdowns and crying a lot. That's why you're getting the calls, people needing readings, and the phone's ringing on my end too. So I want
to, yeah.
Right? So for women especially, the moon represents, in ancient Vedic astrology, the moon represents our subconscious and it represents our feelings. However, it comes out at night, right? We feel that energy of the moon. So at times like this, when it's Mercury retrograde and the full moon coming up next week, a lot of people don't sleep, they feel restless, and they have extreme anxiety. And some people get depressed too. It just depends on their personality. So when the moon is illuminated, when the moon is full, that is when we feel it the most. And the best way to actually learn how to manage, like I answered in the previous question you had for me, was understanding what's yours and what's not yours. So during my full moon gatherings for women, which we're going to talk about in a second, is I'm going to teach you how to manage your own energy so that you can actually use the intensity of the full moon to release what no longer serves you, or to release all the energies of the people around you that you were feeling and to let that go. So it's literally like you're going to be able to take a big breath and go, whoo, I'm done.
Okay. So does this also affect in people's dreams? Like, I know there's been a lot of wicked dreams going around, and that's one of the things that people tell us. It tells me on phone calls that we have wicked dreams. We're having anxiety attacks, panic attacks. We want to jump out of our skin. Does that all play with the full moon in retrograde?
Absolutely. So when we're having these intense dreams, especially around the full moon, usually what that represents is that our subconscious, so something deep within us, needs to come to the surface. So that's why we feel it the most in our dreams. But what most people do is they hold on to it. Right? So let's say fear for right now. There's a lot of fear. We're afraid what's going to happen with politics, the world, environment, whatever. So a lot of people are feeling this fear, but they don't know how to release it. They don't know how to let it go. And that's what the full moon is. It's a time to let things go. So if no one has trained you on how to do that, you're just going to keep feeling it more and more. And if you're around other people that are feeling it, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It's like a snowball. So what we want to do is learn how to acknowledge what's coming up during our dreams, right? And feeling this and say, okay, thank you for showing me what that is, but it's time to say goodbye.
Okay, and how does this play? I had a train of thought, so I got to get this. How does this play in with the holidays coming up? Like, I know around the holidays, I get a lot of phone calls. There's lots of people who are lonely, depressed, not understanding what's going on. How does this all intertwine with holidays? So, like, we got Christmas coming up, New Year's. How does that play in with this?
Well, if people are feeling a lot of these, well, I'm just going to say an imbalance in their emotions, what they need to learn is how to use holistic modalities, which I teach on these women's gatherings, so that you can transform something negative into something positive. And I like to use holistic modalities, such as learning, and we can use things like NLP, EFT, using high-grade essential oils, Bach flower remedies, meditations, that kind of stuff, because you have to learn how to turn it around. And you don't learn this stuff in school. It's not ABC 1, 2, 3, right? This is the New Age movement. And it's easy to do, but it's not a quick fix. So it's what I call the turtle, like slow and steady wins the race. These are techniques that you can learn, but you got to keep doing them every day. And then once something comes up, when you're feeling something, it's like, okay, I know what I can use. I've been taught how to use it, how to change it or to transform it. Because everything's energy. So when you learn how to change the energy, you can take something negative and turn something positive. So the best example really quickly is you can take anger and use something that you've been angry at and to morph it into passion, into changing it into something better. Does that make sense?
Oh, for me it does. And I know that out there they'll make sense to some of our viewers, and some of our viewers now have been piqued and have questions. So how can the women who are listening to the show, or anybody who's listening to the show as that matter of fact, because this will benefit men as well, they go through the same thing.
Yeah.
How can they go and join the full moon webinar that you're having on Tuesday, November 12th, to learn more about how to use the energy to manifest the miracles in their lives?
Well, what we're going to do during that full moon webinar is to teach. I'm a teacher, I'm a guide, a spiritual guide. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the 4 elements of the earth, which are wind, the earth, water, and fire. And I'm going to teach people how to use those 4 elements so that you can shield yourself, right? Release what somebody else is, protect yourself, and to transform that energy into something positive. So I do this every month, and for your listeners, as a special thing, I'm going to allow people to join for free. They just have to email me at tamarontv@gmail.com. And we can post this information later. And they can join on a live Zoom webinar at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And I will teach them some very simple techniques on how they can manage this energy so that they can release it, feel more grounded, more protected, and be able to move forward. Because a lot of times this is what's holding you back in your life, is a lot of this fear, anxiety, some of these negative energies that really don't serve us, right? So we want to be able to move through that. And that's when the magic happens, when you realize it isn't your stuff.
So what I'm going to ask you to is to send me the information. I'm also going to paste it on my Facebook page under Crystal Clear Holistic Healing and Products so that they can contact you. And I'm going to tag it to the top of my page. So just send me kind of like your business card so that they can get a hold of you, because I think this would be really interesting for a lot of people to get in contact with you. It's just a gut feeling. Like I say, you rock, girl. You are my sensei. All right.
Well, yes. Yeah,
so do you want to have a little? Do you want to have a little fun?
Absolutely. You take over now.
Well, you chime in, because if you're going to get any information on the readers, you need to chime in. So the first card that I got for today, Angel can never get this on, is the Divine Alchemy. So everybody that's watching the show needs to move beyond the current challenges, which finally goes into what we were talking about. Focus on what you desire, okay? So we're going to go to our first caller, which is La Maria in Austin.
Yes.
Did I say that correct?
Yes, the mirror.
Okay. So your card just happens to be, let's get that straight, the Love and Acceptance card. So that tells me that you are full of love, okay? But you need to start recognizing your worth, and you have to start choosing loving thoughts, which kind of ties in to what Tamron was talking about, okay? So, my girl, do you have any specific questions for us, or you just want general information?
Well, I would like to know about my love life.
Okay. So let me just get into here and just chime in when you want, Tamron. If you get something before me, just chime in on here. Okay, girl. So what I'm getting more of is that you have had experiences that have sort of given you a foul taste in your mouth. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're basically telling me that when you're ready for your love life and your love life situation to change, that you're going to be able to move forward. You're kind of stopping it from happening because you haven't dealt with and moved forward from the foul taste, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. Definitely.
Okay. So when you decide you're ready for love, he's going to be there. Like, he's waiting. I can see him. It's more, this is on your side, and this is on you working on your own self-love and your own self-worth, which kind of goes in with your card in the acceptance of love, okay? So you kind of need to work on that personally and start realizing that you are this wonderful, beautiful person that has so much to give the world. You've just ran into a bump, and you got to say, okay, like, I mean, everything that's went on, you have to forgive yourself for what you've thought and what you've said on that situation. And you just need to start owning it. Like, you've got to start being proud of who you are and start using your knowledge to move forward in that area.
Wow, that is so, so true.
Do you have anything to add, Cameron?
Sure, I can add personal experience and exactly what I'm feeling intuitively as well. You hit the nail on the head, or the hammer on the nail there when you said you have to forgive yourself. And I'll just share that forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean that you did anything wrong. So when we have experiences in the past with other people that left a foul taste in our mouth, it's a wonderful opportunity for us, for anyone, to look at those experiences and to have great gratitude for going through that, because it's pushing you to go deeper within yourself, to find that love within yourself, because it's a magnet. Everything, the law of attraction is equal. So rather than trying to go out and find someone who will love you, when you take time to reflect and look at all the beautiful things that you love and accept about yourself, that's when that other person is going to come into your life. Like Angel is saying, he's there. It's the work we need to do on ourselves. And it's a beautiful process to do. And so when you radiate and you feel good about yourself, people will notice that rather than us waiting to be noticed. We need to do the exact opposite, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does make sense. Like, you hit the nail on the coffin. I do have to work on myself, and, start trying new things. It's just that,
Yes.
Sometimes I don't know who to trust.
Trust yourself, my girl. You have to learn to trust yourself before you can trust anybody else. And that's a valuable lesson that I had to learn with going through my first marriage, and how I was just knocked down and everything beaten out of me. I had to learn to trust myself. Once I learned to trust myself, it was a lot easier to start trusting other people. Because when things go wrong in our life, we tend to blame ourselves, as Cameron was saying, and it's not necessarily our fault. And that's where we have to learn to start that relationship between ourselves again, and understanding who we are and taking our power back, and then trusting ourselves to the fullest. And you will get there. Now, they're also telling me that you're wondering about money. Is that correct?
Yes.
Well, that's coming, my girl. That's totally, totally coming. Okay? So once you start getting in that, like Cameron was saying, once you start getting your vibration up and starting to match with your goals, everything's just going to fall into place for you.
Wow. Do you see me getting married?
Well, that's up to you. Again, that totally comes up to you. If you're saying you want to get married and you're saying it, you put it out in the universe works to give that to you through law of attraction. But if your energy doesn't match it, okay? So if you, let's just say, put out there you want to get married, but then you're sitting here and you're going, do I really want to get married? Do I want to put up with that again? Your vibration isn't matching it. So then it won't come. Okay? It's just going to kind of sit there and percolate out in the universe going, hey, I'm here. I'm ready. I'm waiting for you. What do you want me to do? But if you're not vibrationally being specific and saying, this is what I want, it's just going to not come, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. And I'm actually not in a rush. I just would like to know. I never know what the future holds.
Oh, it's coming. That's totally up to you. You can grab anything you want that you put out in the universe. You just have to trust yourself and know that you can create anything. And what Tamron's doing with the full moon, that's part of her teaching us how to grab on everything that we want. And it kind of fits in with Abraham Hicks, with staying on your disc and everything being in the vortex and just being able to grab it. Am I right, Cameron?
Yeah, absolutely. It's free to your listeners. So if she'd like to follow up, then she's more than happy to join us next Tuesday night.
And it'll really help you in following through, in starting to manifest and create everything you want. People really don't realize how much the full moon and energies affect us. And being empathic, we really take on, like Tamara was saying, we take on a lot of other people's garbage that we shouldn't really take on.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you? All
yes,
right.
It does.
So you have a great weekend, okay?
You too. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. So you can reach me at crystalclear101.com, or you can email me at cosmicearthangel@outlook.com, or you can just go to my Facebook, which is Crystal Clear 101 Holistic Healing, sorry, not hearing, healing and products. Okay, I'm tongue-tied. See, the energy's got me flying here, Tamara. So how can they get a hold of you, Tamara?
They can go to my business Facebook page under Tamaron's Place, and that's spelled TAMMERONS, and then just Place. They can send me a message or email me at tamarontv@gmail.com. Thank you for allowing me to be a guest on your showing.
No, thank you for coming on, and I hope we're going to do this again, because I totally enjoyed it, and you rocked it out, girl. So they can't blame me.
beautiful, gorgeous wellness center who will adjust you mentally, emotionally, and physically. Also, it will help you to manifest your finance, anything and everything you desire for. This place is a very beautiful place which is located in Corona Del Mar. So please book your appointment today.
To A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Persian Medium I Am Power with Fia Johan. Fia Johan, live from PersianMedium.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Persian Medium I Am Power on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
There is somebody's mom here. She directed to you right now.
Fia was actually channeling my mother.
I have her right now with me.
She passed away 3 years ago.
She says, "Forgive me."
Hearing from my mom was amazing.
What she told you before, 3 days before she passed?
That she loves me and that she'll see me soon.
She's directing me another woman in the room. Please.
My grandmother was my mentor growing up.
There's two women that directed by her right now. You and her. She's talking about the man that she was concerned, and she's still concerned, and she asked for forgiveness for that man as well.
The man that she brought forward to forgive, that's my brother.
She's telling you to stop being weak. Bring more confidence into your life.
You know, we're all at different points in our lives. We've all been through different experiences, traumas, excitements, joy.
She's proud of you. You're quick in something. You stopped something that was very hard for you to do.
You wouldn't think that 10 years ago that I was addicted to drugs.
She says, I'm proud of you. Continue.
I never stopped asking the universe to show me the way.
She's talking about your pain. Let it go.
I don't have to have that story anymore. I don't have to hold on to the story of my pain, of my past, of my trauma. Today, I can let it go.
Let it go! She said, can you forgive me?
Yes.
Say goodbye to all things that could stop you to succeed, to feel good, to connect with your soul. Say yes high.
Yes.
Loud.
Yes.
Louder.
Yes.
She's asking you, can you forgive that person? She's directing someone else. She's directing a man. She's directing someone. Can you forgive that person? Can you forgive that person for her? Loud.
Yes, I forgive him.
Why you do forgive him? She want to know.
I forgive him for myself.
You are worthy enough to do everything for yourself. Not for anybody else, for yourself.
I know that takes a lot from her, but she gives. And she gives and she gives.
She's asking you to be strong, to be powerful, to be connected to your soul. You don't need anyone's affection and approval to be perfect. You are already perfect. Believe in yourself.
Yes.
Just say, yes, I do believe in myself.
Yes, I do believe in myself.
Louder.
Yes, I do believe in myself.
Louder.
Yes, I do believe in myself. And I believed in her. We're all from Brooklyn, New York, so there was a very Jewish Italian community there where people's homes were open and they would intermingle and share their faiths, share their food.
She's talking about backyard. She's talking about the trees. She's talking about dishes. She's talking about the chicken. She's talking about the chair. She's talking about everything. Please direct her what she's trying to say.
Nana's house.
Yes. My mom's house. We all lived together. I mean, they lived there with my mom and my dad. They were always together. We were always together, always cooking. She actually made a better chicken parmesan than my mother.
Yeah, hers is better. But don't tell her that.
Yeah, don't tell my mom.
Don't tell Nana.
There is a power in sadness. There is a power in pain. And the power comes when you overcome it.
Talking to her really, really helped me, I think. It's definitely gonna kind of just clear my mind of all the negative thoughts that I had.
My father, Congressman Ron Dellums, who passed away a year and a half ago, visited FIA.
Today was a day to remember Ron Dellums, who in 1970 brought to Congress an anti-war and anti-apartheid stance that was branded as radical and dangerous.
Oh my God. He's asking, do you remember my hand?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember what I told you?
Yeah.
Do you remember why I told you?
Yeah.
Dellums' youngest daughter, Piper, is proud that her father became an early voice against oppression in South Africa, applying pressure that would one day bring an end to apartheid.
You said, take my legacy, take my mantle. You're the smartest person I know. Go into the world and heal the land and do it in your way.
You know, Ron never gave up. He never became bitter. He loved people.
This is not my hand. This is your dad. He wanted you to tell again, louder, louder and clear, what he told you.
I'm passing you my mantle, I'm passing you my anointing, and passing it to you. You're the smartest one that I know. Run. There's so much work to be done. Run, run, run and heal the world, and don't stop. Do it in your way. Run, baby girl. Do it in your way.
So she's spoken to me like a sister, but also like an angel.
He said, I saw you when you cried in front of that candle. Why did you cry?
She's given me the faith and trust and support that was being given me by my dad before he left. So she's done this beautiful transition of allowing me not to feel the void of his leaving.
I don't know where to go when I'm not speaking with you, or I just don't know how to feel safe in the world without you in it.
In the area where I don't have a female in my life, because I don't have a relationship with my mother and I don't have a sister. She has stepped in with the feminine to remind me that I am also loved and purposeful and beautiful and worthy, that I'm valuable.
It's not just me that tried to basically sending her messages and changing her. So she changed me in so many ways as well.
So our silly song goes this way. We are the key to do more than just let it be. The key to our destiny is in the hands of our humanity. His love is more than a philosophy, 'cause we are the key.
We are the key.
We are the
but
key.
Diamond's key.
Welcome back to the Global Entrepreneurship Initiative. I'm excited to introduce our next speaker, Ms. Fia Johansson, who's better known as the Persian medium and subconscious mind surgeon. She's a multi-talented motivational speaker, clinical hypnotherapist, and celebrity psychic medium. An author who works closely with law enforcement to help locate missing people and solve difficult criminal cases with detectives and as well as private investigators. Throughout her career, she's helped thousands of people identify personal roadblocks to help them truly believe in their own path to success, whatever that dream may be. Her greatest passion in life is helping others achieve their ultimate dreams and desires, teaching people to believe that truly anything is possible. Please help me welcome to the stage Ms. Fia Johansson.
Well, hello everyone. I love the spirit in this room. Really, I do. You guys having amazing spirits, which actually helping millions of people so far. As Nick said, my name is Fia Johansson. I'm a medium and subconscious mind surgeon. I will share a couple of my stories of my life, which both kind of funny, at the same time a little bit hurtful, but good to know about how the medium could feel sense as a person. I was at the age of 7.5 when I found that I have some sort of power. Of course, first it was kind of odd, a little bit difficult to understand myself, and I kind of like felt something is not correct with me because I could see, feel, and sense things before things happened. I went to my mom and asked, "What's wrong with me?" "Nothing, you're good." "Should I take you to the doctor?" "No, I don't know, but I can feel and sense that something crazy is going to happen to my grandma," example. "Something is going to happen to my uncle," and all this stuff. However, they're trying to tell me to don't say anybody when you feel and sense something bad is going to happen to them, because I don't wanted them to be scared and see that we should not be even near them. I says, okay, at the age of 7.5, I should just like not saying anything and just relax. At the age of 11, I found one of the most hurtful untruths about my life, which was completely true. I found out that my grandma, who actually I knew and I felt as a mom, is just my grandma and not my mom. My grandpa was my grandpa and not my father. My uncles, they never been my brothers and they've been just my uncles. And my mom, not ever been my sister, and she always been my mother. But this truth been always held and hidden by my family until my grandma passed away. Before that, I had a life as a princess, spoiled completely, and they would definitely give me anything and everything what I want. After she passed, I figured I don't have anyone anymore. My mom is too young. I don't have no feelings as a daughter and mother connections. I feel completely lost, and I found myself, what should I do now? I do have some gift that could help me so far. But should I just like push myself down and see that, oh, this is a trauma, I have to just like be depressed, now I lost this and that, and I found the truth about my life? And I found about my father. Who is my father? Somebody. Where is he? Another country. Okay. I tell myself, get up, stop it right now. It doesn't matter which family you had. It doesn't matter what they told you. It doesn't matter what happened. What it matters right now is to open the new chapter in your life. And I will completely left alone by myself without anybody to taking care of myself. At the age of 14, I asked my uncle, who left Iran to Stockholm, Sweden, if there is possibility to take me there. He said, maybe or maybe not, but I will do my best. 3 months later, I felt and I sensed I will be there. I'm not belonging in this country anymore, and I don't want to. I went to Sweden, Stockholm, and waited that my uncle is going to come and pick me up. Nobody showed up. Gosh, again, I'm here. My uncle is not here, and I don't even know that language. I couldn't speak English. Nothing. Okay. Then, Miss Fia, you are here with nobody again. So what happened? I tell myself, you are deaf and you are blind. Deaf and blind. What a deaf and blind person can do? I can't talk to anybody, I can't see anything, but I have to activate some other power inside of my body again at the age of 14. So I tried to communicate with people, tried to talk or communicate with some officers and ask about, like, where am I? I know that I'm in Stockholm, but I don't even know where to go. So basically I found some hotel and stay there and just like think about like what happened with my uncle. So I found out that he had a car crash almost a couple hours before that he went to come and pick me up. So they take 1 month for me and for him to recover, to come out after coma and come and find me. So in 1 month, I was left over in a country with the minus 30 degrees. I mean it, minus 30 degrees. And I'm not joking. I could feel that I can't breathe sometimes, but I would have a lot of, ice in my nose and my ears and everything. Whatever I felt, you know what? Fia, you do have a power. Trust yourself, believe in yourself, build the new chapter. Again, this is your second chapter in another country. So I prayed, I connect to my divine, I sense, and all of a sudden, 3 families, without even knowing who they are, what they are up to, they reach out to me out of nowhere. How? I went out to the Starbucks, but basically there is no Starbucks. It was something, looked like or similar to Starbucks, and saw some lady that's sitting there and crying. I went and said, well, I can't speak. What should I say? Okay, the only things that I can do is a love language. Maybe I should hug her. Maybe I should just like say, I'm here. And it was a Swedish girl, of course, blondie, and I'm kind of like a black hair. Well, that maybe she's going to get scared a little bit. But I was like, don't worry about it. Just go and get it done. So I did that. And she hugged me so hard. Was like, what's going on? What's happened to you? She's starting to talk. I couldn't understand. Barely nothing. Swedish language? Come on, guys. You guys don't want to even learn. It's very difficult and very hard. I said, okay, let's just continue and continue. I felt and see that she lost the baby, or actually the baby was missed in the past of almost 4 years. And she basically went to the family and asked questions about like, where can I go? How can I find? Because it was in another state, and they come back to the Stockholm, and then she all of a sudden just break down. I said, I can help you. I feel where the baby is, or somehow I can see the baby. They didn't understand what I'm saying. I was like, oh my gosh, what should I say? It's like translating. I do remember that day. So basically after almost 2 hours, some Persian family, who they could actually speak my language, finally Persian, so they could understand exactly what I'm talking, because they've been closest friend to that Swedish family. My career started at the age of 14 in Stockholm. Just 2 months after, I landed in this minus 30 degrees of country. So my point is, whatever I had in my life, I always been thankful and grateful. I never said why I don't. I never said why me. I never said how. I always say, come on, get up, find a way, go. That's it. So never give up. And I always learn myself, don't be logic, be biologic. Because that's the only way you can feel and sense yourself and others. Always send love and receive love. Never give up about your goals. And of course, the first month, because I did not have enough money, I left with almost 120 crackers and waters. And it's possible. As a human, we can live with 120 crackers and water every day, which I did because I did not have money, no place to go, countries with no language. Then after that, I feel like I have to build my company. I built my company almost 3 years later. It was about like $4.5 million company with almost 55 Swedish employees. And what I did that, not just helping police officers and private investigators and all this stuff. I did this because I felt that Swedish people rejected me one after each other. Why? Because I'm come from another country. I said, you know what? I make a decision now. I am going to build my own company, and you are going to pick me to hire you. This is me now, Fia Johansson. So now I'm not going to be a blondie lady, but I'm going to be the black hair lady with a lot of power of will. So my will power make my company became super successful back in Stockholm. Almost 8 years ago, I felt that I have to move to America. I find my love of my life. And when I come here, I felt, okay, you left your country, the way that you love, basically after so many years, and now you want to just start from scratch. So I knew about 5 languages already, but my English was not good at all. So I couldn't barely speak English. I was like, okay, start it again, Miss Fia. Now this time, maybe English is much easier than and faster than Swedish. So that was all I had. And now I have over $5.5 million, almost $6 million company, and actually have over 250 employees worldwide that are working for me in America. So everything is possible, even you don't know about the language. So remember that, deaf and blind always will help you and send love and passion to yourself and anything and everything you want. Everything is possible.
Centuries, it's believed that mediums have been able to mediate communication between spirits of the dead and living human beings. People usually recruit mediums to help them get in contact with family members or friends who have passed on. But celebrity psychic Fiona Johansson is also using her abilities to help law enforcement solve cold cases and help exonerate and free innocent inmates. And Fiona is joining us now. Fiona, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. How are you doing today?
We're so excited to have you. So awesome. Tell me, Fiona, when did you realize you had this gift?
I was at the age of 7. It was a hot summer. A friend of mine came to my house and we had fun. We played. And 3 hours later, when they want to go home, I said, please don't, because I see visions, I see colors, and I see that you guys definitely going to have a car crash. Well, of course, at that time, nobody listened to me because they didn't know exactly what I have. But 3 hours later, our phone rang and they had a car crash. And from that moment, it took 4 years for me to realize why I see things before they happened, why I feel things before people talk about to me, and then why did people communicating through me when they want justice or something about their life.
So Fiona, tell me, how did you get involved with law enforcement?
I was at the age of 17. It was back in Europe. So basically, they engaged me in a couple cold cases, and I could help them to find murder or border cases, and also I helped them to achieve and put all the puzzles together through the colors, visions, names, and of course, spirit talking to me by themselves. Like example, 2 years ago, Coast Guard communicated and said, we have a missing pilot. And I said, I know exactly where they are. But they said, we are in Catalina Coast and we are looking after, well, we are not, finding them. I said, well, we are guys in the wrong place. The moment that they said they are missing, I said, they both dead. He immediately connected and says, how did you know it was two? Because it was one student pilot and the other one the instructor. And then he said the student pilot mentioned exactly where he is, and that's why they are dead, because I am just communicating with dead people when it comes to my mediumship. So 40 minutes later, they sent me a helicopter, and then right after, we found the stress signals that belong to that helicopter or that plane.
That's incredible. Fiona, can you walk me through the process when you're presented with a case at first?
When I actually starting to look into the cold cases and murder cases, again, it was the spirit that directly communicated through me. So, and when I started, I was 17. Law enforcement communicated to me and said, like, are you ready to get engaged with that case? And when I felt I'm ready, I said, yes, I am. And all of a sudden, all the names, images, visions, and things come through. And then through that, I understood that when I'm asking, or if someone asking about some name, and I don't even know about, I should not know anything about their name, I should not know anything about their genders. All I know is the communication that I have together with that law enforcement or, police or officers just tell me, we have a missing persons. We have some baby boy was like 4 years old that been missing for kind of 5 hours. I'm directly connected to the energies, and I pick up the energies through that officers that communicating through phone. So I shouldn't be in a place or be around that families or touching that families or communicating with that families.
Fiona, let's talk about a specific case about R&B singer Jamal Truelove, who spent more than 6 years in prison for a 2007 murder. He was eventually acquitted in 2015 when a jury found that the two officers had fabricated evidence. Tell us about your involvement in that case.
Well, the way that I involved in this case, it was that we got through a couple actually friends, and when they reached out to me, I said, I reacted immediately that this guy is innocent and he shouldn't really be in jail. And they said at that time that they can't do anything about it because, already all the evidence is against. And I said, well, he will come out, but not now. There is a timing that I can see and I'm predicting, and this time is all about like in between 5 to 7 years. And they couldn't really believe at that moment because they felt, oh my God, it's kind of very, saddest because we should really get him out. And if you said that it's going to be 5 to 7 years, that actually really make us to feel very uncomfortable and disappointed. And I said, it's the time. And through that time, I communicated with Jamal in jail and trying to let him to understand about his own value and he's not innocent, which he knew already. And I said, manifest, and try to manifestation, get yourself out from the jail and make impossible be impossible and show it to everybody. And that's exactly what he did.
Absolutely fascinating. Fiona Johansson, psychic investigator. Fiona, thanks so much for being on the show.
Naturally to me, I never decide for any of those messages. The only responsibility that I have is that I have to deliver the message.
What was your reading like with Persian medium? Oh my God, I love her. So I actually had a moment with her when she was walking in. She came by our table for water, and it was just like, oh, that's how I felt.
without even leaving.
It was all kind of things I kind of knew. I felt intuitively guided. It's nice to feel her tap into those deeper places and I guess reveal hidden places that I sense and feel, but have her kind of present them.
She said, I'm going to meet a man who's going to come right to me. It's been quite a while, and if that happens, I'm going to be in huge debt to her.
This was a great reading today because it lifts my spirit. Spirits have been depressed for a while because of adverse happenings going on. I'm very pleased about that.
I went to her workshop yesterday, and it was awesome. Yes, and I got her book, so I'm excited about that.
Well, this is the only reading I've done, and it's the only reading I would do. And it's because I just know that.
She told me things that I already knew, and then she also told me things that I was surprised with. Like she could read me, like things I was in denial of. She was actually reading what I was in denial of. So it was wonderful. It was happening.
I didn't say a word. She just knew exactly how I felt about it.
You know, she's absolutely right. So it's kind of like you have the answers inside somewhere, and she kind of validated what I was thinking.
If you're a person that's trying to, meet your sense or see your sensualities in your emotion, your vision, imagination, your subconscious mind, get close to that power, then you can see, feel, and connect to the spirit.
Listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome. And now, Australia's Psychic Cowgirl with Tanya Reid. Live from AustraliaPsychicCowgirl.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Australia's Psychic Cowgirl on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
G'day, Tanya Reeves, Australia's Psychic Cowgirl, coming at you from home this week. I am back to reality. So it's been great getting back to the horses and other animals after having a week away, which was beautiful. I love the Grampians. You'll see on the last show, the kangaroos were very obliging, and we were just having a laugh at whether I'll be able to manage that again. So, yeah, we'll have to raise the bar now, see if I can get some emus or something else that can, make a guest appearance. So keeping it interesting. That's what I do like to do here on my show, is mix it up a bit, keep it different, get some great backdrops. Here in Australia, we've got some amazing places, and whenever I travel around or go anywhere that has some really great background drops, I'm there. So as you can see today, I'm at home which has always got pretty good backdrops. It's really sunny here. It's a little bit glary in the background, but we're enjoying this. It's going, I think it's into autumn, or a couple of days will be autumn. So the summer will be dissipating. I love autumn. It's a fantastic time of year. You get the cooler nights, but nice warm days. So, yeah, not too hot. I have to say I'm not a fan of the really extreme heat. I find it a little bit more of a cooler weather person myself. So, yeah, I don't mind it when the really hot days are behind us. But the variety is always good too, so that's really cool. So I hope you're all going well. We're nearly into March now, which is pretty crazy to think 2020, we're going into our third month. So going on, the readings and talking to different people about things over the last week, we've still got energetically, we've had Mercury in retrograde, so we've had a lot of stuff happening and a lot of people are feeling a bit unsettled. There's also been a lot of people wanting to change direction, and it's like they've been given the signs but still really feeling unsettled and unsure. To me, the energy this year is very different to previous years. So if you're feeling a little bit not quite as convinced on things as what you were last year, it's just that you need to tune in a little bit more. So again, connect to spirit. You've got your friends and family and your guides around you all the time. So don't hesitate to ask them for guidance. A really big thing I've found this year has been to stop and recalibrate and really, go into the mode of taking notice of what's happening around you and being present and in the moment. I know I've said this heaps, and for me this has been an ongoing lesson, because you do become so wired to be doing and not being. And I really feel that's a strong message for us. This last month has been, if you're feeling pulled back or, you're feeling a little bit unsettled, reconnect into your inner guidance and ask spirit for signs and really be ready to receive those. Also, what I've been shown over the last week and a half is we also need to remember to connect to our creative side. Now, you often hear that, for me, I will often say that in a reading, because spirit, I'll be guided to say to somebody, you're not doing anything creative. When we get creative, when we get into our imagination, this is where we, connect in with that side of us that can receive information. So it's really important that we remember this and also take time to do it. So it doesn't matter what creative, pursuits are your thing. If, people say to me sometimes, but I'm not creative. Rubbish, we all are. You can dance and be creative, play music, you can sing. There's so many ways you can be creative. In the garden, you can be creative. Get a pencil and paper, get some watercolors, whatever it is you might be drawn to. And I know for me, I've really been drawn to want to get painting again. Like I used to do it years ago and haven't really delved back into it. But it's like anything that tends to get you out of that thinking mode and into having fun and just, getting creative. And when you're being creative, that's when the great thoughts, inspirations, and things come to you. So don't forget to do that and make time for that if you can. Okay? All right. That's my spiel for today. I'm going on to my first caller, Brenna in Stamping Ground, Kentucky. Brenna, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good. Okay, let me just connect in for you. Did you want me to focus on something specific, Brenna, or I feel like I want to go to this year having had a few things that have gone a little bit amiss for you?
No, nothing specific, just whatever you feel.
Yeah. Can you relate to that? There's a few, you've had to take a few steps back over the last 2 months?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, because I'm just, as I connected in for you, I'm like, oh dear, okay, we've had a few stumbling blocks. And I want to say they are, it's easy just to say stumbling blocks. And I know it's been harder than that, but I don't feel these things are going to hold you back for a long time. And I know doesn't quite feel 100% fitting to say that, but I do want to say that to you and say you're not going to stay where you are, as hard as things may have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay, so
actually
it's like,
I'm going through a divorce.
yep. And there's been a lot of trauma around that, I want to say, or like there's been yeah. So acknowledge that, and make sure you take time for you in amongst this, because I do want to say to you, Spirit, well, basically what they're showing me is it's not your fault, so don't carry guilt for this. And it's like things have come to a head for a reason. You will futuristically look back and realise this is for the best, and things are going to turn around for you. There will be opportunities also coming out of this. So are you working at the moment? Because I feel like there's something coming up, as in that a job opportunity for you.
I am working on starting a business.
Yeah. So it's like things will take off now that it's almost like you've had to go through this process. We're letting go of what doesn't serve us. And it's been a really major, major thing for many people. We were shown a lot last year, but for those that maybe didn't make that call then, we're getting really, it's like a real strong thing that we've had to do it early on this year. And it's like you're letting go. Things were needed. And I think you would agree with me in that it was kind of dragging out, and it was really something that did need to happen for you to move forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like for both of you. I do want to say also, they're showing me out of this separation financially, you're going to be better off. So it's almost like I don't see it being a disadvantage for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like you're moving forward. And I don't know whether your ex wasn't responsible for money or was inclined to, how can you put it, not set yourself up for your future, whereas you're more inclined to plan and get things started, and that will be, how you going forward, how it grows you more and more. And I do see abundance of money coming in because of that, because it's like you're saying no to what's been dragging you back, and it's like now is the time. There's something. I want to connect. I've got a male coming through in spirit. I feel like I want to go to even like a grandfather, because he's an older chap coming through. And it's like he's showing me that there's a pathway that you're going on and you've been guided. So I feel like I want to say there's been divine guidance in this. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I feel like he's showing me you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Things were revealed to you. That's what he's showing me. It's like things were shown to you to help you get an understanding of where you needed to be and who doesn't need to be on your team anymore. I do feel for you, though, there is family support, or he's showing me there's people around you that are happy to help you. And don't be afraid to ask for help, right? Because you're a bit stubborn.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what he's showing me. Now, the children. So is there 2 children for yourself around this, or where does the children?
Yeah, we have 2 children.
Yes, okay. Because it's like the children are going to be fine. So it's almost like that's what he was coming through, going 2, fine, all good.
Okay.
Okay. Is one of the, I want to say like one of your children, I feel like I want to go to the boy. I don't know if there's a boy or a girl, or I'm feeling like I want to go to the youngest, but there's one that's a bit of a struggle at the moment, but don't worry, it's like that will settle down.
Well, the oldest is autistic, and she doesn't do change well, and so she's having a real hard time with everything.
Yeah. So it's almost like, well, Spirit's coming through going, they're going to be okay. It's like, don't feel responsible, and it's almost like the more you're okay with this, the more they will be. So it's almost like, as hard as it is to keep that brave face at times and just soldier on, the more you can show that, the more the children will be in alignment with that.
Mm-hmm.
Does your eldest one have shorter hair?
The oldest one, no, she has long hair.
Okay. All right. So I feel like he was flashing up something. And does the grandfather in spirit ring a bell for you?
I don't know about the grandfather. Really, my grandmother is is the one I feel that is around me a lot. I was closest with her, and I lost her when I was pregnant, and I feel her around me a lot. My grandfather's still alive.
Okay. Because it's almost like this, it's definitely a male that was coming through, but it's like he was stepping up to protect you. But I also feel like he was quite clever with money, or there was something around like he's stepping in to show you support in moving forward and giving you insights on how to make this transition easy. So it's like I felt like I wanted to go with an M initial around him or something along that line, but I do feel that he's kind of like your protector.
I'm not sure on that one.
Okay, so we'd be interested to see where he fits. He'll fit somewhere. But it's like he had to come through first, so it's not unusual for that to happen. Now, with your grandmother in spirit who passed before your first child, let me have a look and see if I can connect in. Was she a bigger lady with a bit of a deep laugh? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just want to confirm that that's her coming through. And she passed. I feel like there was aspects where her health, she wasn't well. She's showing me she didn't pass of what was expected. So I don't know whether there was another health concern that came in and then that's how she passed.
She had cancer.
Okay. Yeah. But she's referencing she passed in her way. So it's almost like, did she, it's like she made that decision to transition into spirit. So, and there was an aspect of, even though she went through the cancer, I wasn't going to stay on and keep suffering. So I just feel like she's acknowledging she made the call.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah. And she's quite strong too. So it's like she's around you to remind you of strength. And I feel like I want to go to butterflies with her. There's something around signaling when you're outside. She hangs around you.
Yeah.
And something around plants too are important, or something to do with plants.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she's just directing me to that. She's beautiful. Very spiritual lady too. So had a really strong faith, I feel, and acknowledges that you have that as well.
Yes.
So, and that's almost like her message to you, keep the faith.
That means a lot. Really does.
Yeah, absolutely. So, because she's shaking her head, she's got a bit of a smile on her face. It's like, keep the faith. It's almost like I want to say to you, you've got this, and don't allow, of course, going through such a big thing, it's worrying, and, we tend to get into the overthinking mode, but it's almost like she's coming through saying, don't worry, things will be fine, things will work out, and almost let go of the things that you don't need to be worrying about. So anything out of your control, let go of the worry and just focus on the here and now. There is something around you moving, but I don't feel it's far away, but something around the move will be great too, is what she's showing me.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't hesitate with that. So don't feel like you have to stay there for the kids, or, it's a change will be great. I'm excited for you.
Yeah, that all makes a lot of sense. Like, it really does.
Beautiful. Oh, that's great. No, it's so good to get that clarity. And I really can't wait you'll have to touch base with me towards the end of the year, because you will look back and go, this has been a great ride and you're finally doing what you love to do. So get onto your business and, really apply yourself to this, because you've got it there to make a success of it. Don't allow the self-doubt or, the worry and that kind of thing shut you down on it. Just keep at it.
Okay.
Okay? You've got this. All right, I'm going to go on to my second caller. Thank you for ringing in, Brenna, and keep the faith. You've got this. I'm excited for you, I said before.
Thank you.
All right,
so much.
we've got Sabrina in, where am I? Mamu, I think it is, Louisiana. Probably pronounced that wrong. Got to learn all these states. Sabrina, are you there? Sabrina's disappeared. think that was the Sabrina the Witch, wasn't it? The one that did the disappearing act. It's a gorgeous name. I love that. All right. Well, while we wait for her to come on through, don't forget while you're watching the show, for those of you that are spiritual and like to connect and like to tune into your psychic sense, as the callers come on, sit there as you're watching and go, what are you picking up around them? You'll be very surprised at how much you'll connect in with things that I'm relating to and things that relate to the person on the phone as well. It's a great way to fine-tune your psychic side. We all have it. No one's more elite than anyone else, so tune in. It's a good reminder. Sabrina, are you there?
I'm doing good.
Do you want me to focus on, okay, what area would you like me to focus on? I want to say relationships. Is there something going on down with your relationship at the moment?
Mama in Louisiana.
Yeah. What about as far as me connecting for you, did you have a question in regard to relationships? Or what did you want me to focus on? I just wanted to throw that one out there.
Seeing when and how me and my husband will conceive a baby.
Okay. All righty. So can I go to, you've been trying now, is it 18 months that you've been trying?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, because I've got a lady in spirit here, so I'm like, come on, ready to go. Okay, there's something around, and I know, it's a little bit like a watched kettle never boils. It's almost like for you guys, I want to have some fun and forget the fact that I'm trying to conceive, and I want to have a holiday. I want to break away from the same old things. There's something you need to do different to bring this child in. And I see more than one child, so there's no doubt about the fact that there's children coming for you. I don't have any doubt in my mind, but it's like we need to take the pressure off it happening, and it's almost like, that desire to have, something come to us. Sometimes when we focus on it too much, it just keeps it away. And this year is a year. So in 2020, this is a year of bringing all that we need into us. So I don't have a doubt that that will be the case for you. I see at least 2 children. So I see like 2, and there's a question mark for a third one. So there's definitely not the case of, is it going to happen? Because yes, it is. But it's almost like I see you and your other half going on a breakaway, and that's when the conception is going to happen. Have you got a holiday planned?
I want to go to Hawaii.
Yeah. So make those plans. Like we've got to kickstart something here, and I just feel like for the 2 of you, let's take away from the same old. I'm at home in the same environment. I want to mix it up a little bit. Even if you go away for a weekend somewhere, we want to go and have fun. We want to make this a lot of fun.
Yes, I want to have fun.
Yeah, so it's like we need that aspect of fun to help with the conception. Sometimes when we get all too serious, it's kind of like the body that doesn't react in the way that we want it to. And for you, because I don't see any problems with fertility.
I have PCOS, so I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah. Yeah. Many people have conceived with that. So even though, it does tend to sit there as a, as something that can make it harder. I've had many people that I've connected with that have gone on to have children that have that. Also, another good thing is to just focus on that area and connect to your self-healing, and, even putting your hand there and going, okay, I'm visualizing, whatever it feels for you. For some people, it's white light. For other, it's green. You doing that already?
Yes.
Cool. So, but there's definitely no doubt around that. Have you had an operation already, or where was the operation? Have you had something done?
I haven't
around
had
that
the
area?
operation yet.
Sorry?
I haven't had the operation yet.
Okay. Is that what they're wanting to do? Is to do something to do like a clear things out a bit?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I hope.
Yeah, because it's like, well, what Spirit were just showing me then, it's like there's something around, I felt like a minor, not a major operation, something minor. So just bear that in mind, whether that's something that they might say to you, listen, we might do something like that first prior to conception. But I do see that it will be when you least expect it that you're going to conceive. And I even feel like you might be pregnant for a little bit and not realise. And I know that's rare when you're trying that hard, but it's like you might not have the signs straight away.
It's been 6 months since my last period, and I just started today. Today makes day 5 that I've been on my period.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to conceive.
So it's like, don't discard, like, I just feel like it's going to be, there's an aspect of a surprise around. Okay, so keep the faith on that. Again, that's it's not just a case of when. It's not necessarily and like I said, I feel this year, so I don't feel that it's that far away. And I feel like for you, children won't be, you'll have one and then there won't be much of a gap between the next one after that. It's almost like once it happens, you'll be quite fertile, is what they're showing me. I'm just laughing at the way that they're showing it to me. It's like funny. And also, I have to say, can I ask, is your other half, so the other half in your relationship, is his father in spirit? There's a male coming through, but I feel he's connected to your partner.
Yes.
Okay, because it's almost like he's coming through the message. Your other half needs to take it a bit easier and not work so hard, is what he's showing me. It's like, tell him to ease back a bit. He's going to work himself to the bone, or there's something about, he's overworking, but to the point of burning himself out. Okay, so it's almost like he needs it to give himself a break. I feel like with the way that he's showing me that is that your other half is quite driven, but it's almost like he'll go from extremes. I'm doing a little bit, but then I'm doing a lot, and it's up and down a little bit. So there's a little bit of an unbalanced aspect. So just tell him to be mindful of that. But I like his sense of humour.
Thank you.
Yeah. So there's also something about you stepping up. What are you not stepping up with at the moment for you? You're not speaking up. Because I feel like I want to say to you, you need to speak up. You need to speak your truth more. You're a little bit hesitant because of, I feel like I'm going to concern for what people think or how I'm, come across. But I do want to say to you, it's, be mindful of saying what you need to say, because what you've got to say is relevant, and, you deserve to be listened to. Plus, you've got these kids you've got to stand up for once they come in. So it's a good reminder. It's a good reminder. It's a good reminder for us all. But I just feel like for you, don't let people walk over you. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. So don't be scared to sometimes say no or stand up for yourself, because it's okay to do that, and for your, for your growth, and, with the aspect of being a mom and all the things you're going to be doing, you want to be able to say what you need to say, so don't hesitate. Also feel like this male in spirit. Does your other half go shooting or something? I see somebody like for recreation or something. Who's shooting? I feel like someone's hunting. Some reference, usually with spirit showing me that it's just to, create evidence that they are around. They see they're all seeing and hearing, but it's like I'm going hunting. So I don't know whether that's relaxation for somebody and they need to do it more, or where that fits, but that there's a message in that from spirit. Okay. So for you, it's really important to honour yourself. So don't forget to do that. It's 2020, so it's time, now more than ever, to step up and be heard. Is there any other questions you'd like me to answer before I have to go? I'm nearly at the end of time. Got about 20 seconds to go. Make it quick.
Do you see me and my man getting married anytime soon?
It'll be a surprise. It will be a little bit on his terms. So again, let the expectation go. Let it come around. Someone's going to nudge him into it, but it won't be you. So it's almost like someone will encourage him.
Okay.
I feel like I want to go beginning of next year. I feel like the child will come first.
The child will come first before we get married?
Yeah.
All right.
Keep me posted. Love to hear. Australia's Psychic Cowgirl, connect with me and let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Good luck, Sabrina. You've got this. All right, I got to go. Time is running out. Thank you so much for listening. See you same time, same place next week. Woohoo!
listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. And now, Reverend Elliot's Magical Window with Reverend Elliot. Live from magic-works.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Reverend Elliot's Magical Window on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Greetings, fellow seekers of truth, wisdom, and light. This is Reverend Elliot, your friendly neighborhood esoteric practitioner, welcoming you to another edition of Reverend Elliot's Magical Window, where we get together to go through the magical window together, to take a look through the tarot cards to see what's going on in our lives, to see what's going on in other people's lives. We could do that, you know. A lot of times people ask me about that. We can find out what people are doing that they may not want you to know that they're doing. It's a beautiful, beautiful information gathering technique that's been used for hundreds upon hundreds of years. There's, this stuff about divination. I've been meaning to do this for quite a while now. If you look at my website, I have at magic-works.com, magic-works.com. I've got a very popular page there called Celebrity Horoscopes, where I have the birth charts for a bunch of famous people, living and dead. And if you have, by the way, if you have a suggestion, there's a form at the bottom. If there's somebody whose chart you'd like me to see, I'll be more than happy to do that for you. And if I use your suggestion, I'll send you a gift. Or as they say in the broadcasting industry, a free gift. As if there's any other kind, right? I've got a gift for you. It's only going to cost you $9.89. No, our gifts are gifts. They're free gifts. Well, anyway, I wanted to do, and I have this also just near that form to fill out on the Celebrity Horoscope page. I want to do something about one of the most fascinating incidents in history of using occult means to fight a war. And that was the astrologer, the Battle of the Astrologers in World War II. Now, it's not as mystical as it sounds, because what happened was apparently Hitler, what a wonderful guy, right? He had an astrologer who he consulted for battle strategies. The guy would read the charts, and he would base the plans on what he saw in the stars. A British astrologer found out about this and said to the British authorities, if he's basing his battle plans on what the stars are saying at any given moment, I can do a chart also, and then we'll have the same information that the German army has. And maybe we could even throw a little extra in it, and that's what they did. And they couldn't understand, because the stars are the stars, they're fixed up there, they exist. And if one person is making a chart, theoretically somebody else can do the same chart. So that's what they did, and it was a marvelous battle of the astrologers. The great occultist, still controversial, Aleister Crowley. He's the one who came up with the sign of V for Winston Churchill to use. Think about that. They left that out of the recent Winston Churchill movie that they made. They just had they had Churchill doing it by accident. The man never did anything by accident. Ed Crowley was working along with some very interesting people in the British Secret Service during World War II. He and Ian Fleming worked together. Think about that. There are a lot of people who say that the character, the evil genius of Blofeld, was based on Crowley. Why not? Everybody's an evil genius if you don't like what they're doing. So who knows? So you see, there's a lot. This is what I mean when I say to people, don't think that magic is something that is strange and weird, and nobody uses it except witches in movies. More people than you know are using it. Well, maybe not you. You might know, but I mean more people than most people know are using magic. I absolutely guarantee you, I assure you, that you have friends who are using magic work to get ahead. Yeah, there's always that one guy in the office who's complete boob. He doesn't do anything right, and yet he keeps getting breaks, and he keeps advancing and keeps doing fine. Magic might be the answer. The person might be doing some magical ritual work. You never know. Tarot could find out. I used to have people do that. They would contact me to find out what the other people in the office are up to. It's a nice work environment, right? But there's, like I say many times, there are stores that sell magical equipment and magical books, tarot cards, candles, ritual kits, mojo bags, you name it. There are companies like the Luck Shop in Chicago. It's been around since the 1930s. Azure Green, which has been around for decades. Wisdom Products out in California. It's been around, I think, since the 40s or 50s. Now, somebody's buying this stuff. I can't be their only customer. I do buy things. I make a lot of my own things. My oils and incense I make myself. I'll compound fresh incense from grinding up the herbs and binding them together with, I can either use loose incense or I can make you incense cones. I can do all kinds of stuff like that. But sometimes I do buy things for myself just to have on hand. Essential oils. I couldn't do my oil blends without essential oils, and I've got to get them somewhere. There are so many people doing magic. Now, I'll give you an example of that. Many years ago, during the post 9/11 anthrax scare, remember people were going crazy because judges in courtrooms all across the country were getting letters that had mysterious white powder in them. Well, that's been going on for 150 years easily, maybe more. It's just that nobody paid attention to it. Goofer dust or what's another one that they use? I'm going blank on that. But you see, hoodoo, the African-American Southern magic tradition, uses powders. If you remember the Clint Eastwood film Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, there was a man who sat down in a courtroom, and when he sat down, powder came floating out of him. Yeah, because they do that. So people send High John the Conqueror is a good one. There's another powder that you can use. It was High John the Conqueror root, but there's a powder, and people will send that to a judge to try to influence the judge to decide in their favor magically. Well, people in Washington and New York, where the newspaper media is all headquartered, they didn't know about this stuff. So when they started hearing that there was powder in a letter sent to a judge, they got all hysterical. Nobody ever found any anthrax in that. But that's what they do. Boy, that maybe a listener can tell me. That powder is right on the tip of my tongue. It's like hot foot powder, something like that. I used hot foot powder one time. Look that up. That's a very good substance. That's for keeping away people who are really bothering you. You can use hot foot powder, just sprinkle it at the doorstep, and they are not going to be able to get near you. See, there's all kinds of interesting stuff. Magical work is just fascinating. I could go around. I could talk all night about that. You want to know more about magical stuff? Take a look at my page, magic-works.com, magic-works.com. There's stuff about candles and oils and incense and a lot of stories on there about things that happened. And I've got some new products there at Reverend Elliott's store. You can go to magic-works.com and click on Reverend Elliott's store. And you'll see some interesting T-shirts that I just put up. Anyway, we get together every Wednesday to look through tarot, is what I said before I got sidetracked with all of this. Watch, right in the middle of the show, I'm going to remember what that powder is. There's goofer dust, I think I mentioned. There's another one that they send to people. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start doing the readings now, because that's what we're here for, and I only have one show a week. I know. I'd love to do more. By the way, I can obviously I do readings off the air for people, and I just want to let you know that my New Year special, because a lot of people get a reading at the beginning of the year, to look at the coming year. My New Year special of 15% off is still in effect for a few more days till the end of the month, which is February 29th this year. That's my father's birthday. My father was born in a leap year at the beginning of the 20th century, and this will be like his 25th birthday. That's and not many people born February 29th, I suppose, because it only comes around every 4 years. But that gives us another day for my 15% off sale. And when the sale ends, it's over, unless, of course, you ask me. You know, I'm such a pushover. If you contact me in March and say, gee, I'd sure like to get that 15% off, no sweat. You got it. So do that. If you want a full reading with me, we can spend some time together and you can really delve into issues in your life. I love reading for people, but I especially enjoy reading for the Ask One radio audience. So let's get the show on the road. The first thing, I've got incense burning, I've got candles burning, I've got the whole 9 yards here. You should see this place. It looks beautiful. And now I'm going to ring a bell 3 times, which I do to declare sacred space, to delineate where we're going from the mundane earthly world. We're going to enter that sacred space right now. And the cards are all shuffled up, and our first caller is Sarah in California. Hi, Sarah. You're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you tonight, Sarah?
Good, I'm doing good.
Good. Well, maybe we can make that a little better. What can I look at for you tonight?
Yes. Just situations that are going on.
Okay. Anything in particular, or you just want me to take a look at it?
Yeah, you can just take a look at it. That would be great.
Okay. Are you looking for new work? That's the first question I want to ask you.
Yes.
Okay, I asked you that because I have cards here that indicate, well, the first is the Page of Rods. Rods are career and work, and that is the Page of Rods means the appearance of a new job. So it looks to me like you are going to get a new job. The Two of Rods is next, and that is about waiting for something to develop. So, you know, you've been working on this and trying to make it happen. The Six of Swords is next, and that's an excellent card. That shows a person who is able to go from where they are to where they want to be using their own mind power and their willpower and their energy. So that's looking good. That tells me that you're going to succeed. There's definitely a new job in your future. And the Ten of Cups is there. It tells me you're going to be really happy. The Ten of Cups and the Page of Cups, those are really happy cards. So you have 2 page cards here, the court cards. You have the Page of Rods and the Page of Cups. The pages are beginnings. The aces are beginnings too, but those are like theoretical potential beginnings. The page is real. The page means it's here. It's happening. So this means you're entering a new period of work and a new job. And the Page of Cups means it's going to be a new period of happiness and joy for you. And I think you're ready for that, right?
Yes, I am. I was getting a little nervous, but I feel more content now.
Oh, good. Because you see, this is what this is why I like doing readings when people don't tell me what they want to look at. So the first thing I saw was the Page of Rods, which is the card that means there's a new job coming your way. The Six of Swords and the Two of Rods tell me that you've put a lot of work into this. And the cup cards, the 10 and the page, tell me that it's going to pay off for you. Here's another card that I got for you that I think will help you feel better. The 10 of Swords. That's a nasty looking card, but it means the worst is over. If you had some hard times recently, it means that that's over. You're entering a period of good times. So this is an excellent reading, and it's all about your work paying off. Nothing mysterious about it.
Thank you so much. You're so awesome. I feel so much better.
Good. Now let me leave you with one more card because this is just what I was talking about, the aces and the pages. I have the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups and the Page of Cups means together that you are definitely entering a period of great happiness and joy.
Awesome.
The worst is over, and it's not just like the bad stuff stopped. This is where the good stuff starts. So you're going to be fine, Sarah. I really this is one of the happiest readings I've ever seen. And the cards told me right off the bat that you're looking for a new job. So there you go. Is there anything else you want to look at?
Thank you so much. No, that is it. Thank you so much.
Great.
Okay.
My pleasure.
Have a
Thanks
great
for
night.
calling. Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye now. And we'll shuffle up the cards again. You see how that works sometimes? Sarah didn't tell me what she had on her mind. But the card, it was obvious to me that Sarah was looking for a new job, and that she said she was, and that's beautiful. That just shows that that demonstrates what the cards can do and what they're for. A lot of people think that the readers, that it's a trick, that we just spit back at people what they tell us. No, Sarah didn't tell me anything. Sarah just said, look at the cards and see what's going on. And there it was. And I love that stuff. Don't be shy about telling me what you want me to look at. I'll be happy to do that too. But the less information I have, the more interesting the call can be. Isn't that fun, though, when that happens? We're all shuffled up now. Ann in Enfield, Connecticut is next. Hi, Ann. You're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hello.
Hi, Ann. How are you doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I was a little tired when I started, but I get such energy when I do the show. What can I look at for you?
I was just wondering about my husband. He passed in 2002.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is he around me?
You're looking for a mess? Yeah, let's see. I'm going to shuffle them up again now that I know that that's what you want. Okay, well, this is an interesting first card, considering you asked if he's around you. The first card I have is the Four of Cups, and that's a card of hidden influences. It shows a person looking at three cups and doesn't see that off to the side there's a cloud, and a hand is coming out of the cloud offering another cup. So that is definitely an answer to the question about the person being around. The next card I have is a card of it's the Four of Rods. It's a card of happiness and the sun. It's a card of healing and growth and happiness. So it's telling me that you're dealing with a person who has found happiness. So I think that's a great comfort also. Was it a difficult time passing?
Yes.
Well, you see, because that's
he shot himself.
Is about healing. Oh, that's terrible. That's
he shot
terrible.
himself.
I'll tell you, I've got the card that I have after that is Temperance. That's a card that says balance is restored. So I think that when something like that happens, it's so shattering. But what I'm seeing is that balance has been restored for him. Now, one of the cards that I look for when I get a question like this, the High Priestess is a card that I look for when I get a question like this, and that's what I've got now. And that is that means that we're looking behind the veil. The High Priestess is a card about looking behind the veil that separates this world from the next. So I'm taking this as a very strong indication that that's exactly what this reading is. That yes, he's around still. That's the Four of Cups. That's the hidden influences. And the Four of Rods and the Sun and the Temperance card, those indicate healing and balance. So I think that it's such a sad situation, but I'm getting the indication that the person has found peace.
That's all I wanted to know.
Okay,
yeah,
well,
thanks very much. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. And I will light a nice white candle after the show to send positive energy to both of you. How's that?
Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Appreciate
Have a good
it.
evening now. Thank you for calling.
You
Bye-bye
too.
now.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
And we'll shuffle up the cards. Those kind of readings can be so delicate and so The other card that I look for when I get a question like that is the death card, and that is the card that just showed up here when I just shuffled them now. So, yeah, this is this happened last week, I believe it was. I got the death card and the high priestess card with an afterlife reading, and those are the strongest indications that it's an accurate reading. So here it is again. So this is a definite message from the other side. It's not something I do often, and I only do those kind of readings if I get one or the other of those two cards. And lately, I've been getting both when I'm asked those questions. So maybe the cards are starting to trust me a little bit. This is not anything that I do. This is what I see in the cards. So the cards are your cards when I do a reading for you. They show your cards. It's just my interpretation of what I see, but that's why I like to go into detail and explain what the card is that I got and why I read the card that way. It just makes a more interesting and rounded reading, I suppose, because all tarot is about is gaining information. And it's a way to do it. Nobody knows how it works, really. There's many theories about it. One of the theories is that the cards are alive. Now, that sounds wacky, but you start doing this for 30 years and you're going to start thinking that maybe there's something to it. All things are alive if you look at it that way. We all have a molecular vibrational rate. Nothing, even that table here, that's not solid. We just agree to call it solid because that's how our senses interpret it. Well, that's going to go on into a whole new quantum metaphysical thing, and we're not here to go into that. And I'm not qualified to go into quantum physics because I don't even know what string theory is unless it's got something to do with the cheese on a pizza. I haven't got a clue about string theory. But more and more, it's starting to look like mysticism and magic are overlapping with science. And I think that's a good thing because when they split off science and spirituality under René Descartes' deal with the church centuries ago, I think that was a huge mistake where science got things that could only be measured. That's why science is very skeptical about these things, to the point of denial, in fact. I have some things on my website by Rupert Sheldrake, who has been called a heretic. He's a biologist, and other scientists have called him a heretic. There should be no dogma in science. They're supposed to say we look at the facts and we examine. But they can't figure everything out, and that bothers a lot of people. They're never going to figure out how homing pigeons do it. How do they get back? They're never going to figure out how tarot works, it seems. But if you want some hints, check out my book about tarot. It's called, just like the show, Reverend Elliot's Magical Window. We'll talk about that later. Right now, we're all shuffled up, and Allie in Adelaide, South Australia is next. Hi, you're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hi, how you going?
I'm doing well. How are you, Allie?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Excellent, excellent. What can I look at for you?
I'm just wondering if you see any children in my future at all.
Okay, there's a good question. Let me tell you, the first card I've got is a card that I almost never get, except when I do readings for the Ask One Radio audience. You guys are so positive. Maybe that's why it is. It's the Fool card. The card of the Fool is the person who has protection from above, who has spiritual protection. The Gypsies call it the beloved of God, the person who gets that card. So if there's any negative cards in this reading, all the negativity would be reversed. So that's right off the bat. That's a beautiful reading.
Okay.
Now, I'm not getting, there are cards that directly relate to having children, and I'm not seeing any of those at the moment, but I am seeing cards that can be interpreted that way. So why don't we try that? The Page of Cups is here. I had that earlier for somebody. The Page of Cups means the beginning of a new period of happiness. And it's coming. It's not just potential. The pages are the earth. Pages are mundane, real. So I would assume that having a child would be the beginning of a period of happiness, correct?
Yeah.
So now here's another one that I'm going to take these together as meaning yes. The 10 of Coins is here. That's a card that, forget about the meaning of coins in the sense of money. It's a card of lineage and family. And there is a child on the picture of the card. There's a couple with a child, and the couple is looking forward and the child is looking backward. Now, the meaning of the deeper meaning of that is children and grandchildren and parents and grandparents and great-grandparents and the line continuing. See, it's about becoming part of the whole line. And that answer, I think that answers your question. I think the answer here is yes.
Okay, excellent.
Now, again, just like the previous reading, this is one of the things that makes me think that the cards might be alive. It's rubbing my nose in it. I have the Ace of Cups also. So I have the Page of Cups and the Ace of Cups. And just like I said with the caller who was getting a new job, that definitely means that there's a happy period ahead for you, that you're entering a period of great happiness and joy. I still don't see any of the cards that specifically refer to having a child, but these do. So I say yes, that's my answer. Keep me posted on that. I'd like to know if how that works out, okay?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And as well, do you get any messages like from people that have passed at all for me?
Well, let me just tell you one of the things that I got here is that I wanted to ask you about, have you been trying for a while to have a child?
We haven't actually been trying yet. I do have one child.
I have a card here which relates to focusing on disappointments rather than just accepting it and moving on. So I was wondering if you had some disappointment in that regard. But if the answer is no, good. Then remember what I said. The first thing here is the Fool card, which means that any negative connotation in any card has been removed. Now, what was the question that you asked?
If you got any messages from people that have passed.
Okay, let me just put these cards back in the deck and we'll see. I always feel funny taking questions like that because I got to stop doing this. I always say, well, gee, I don't really do this very often. And then I get really wonderful direct readings that relate to the question.
Oh, right.
So maybe I do these after all. So let's see. The first thing I need to look for is if I get a card that indicates that we're dealing with somebody who's passed. So let me just see what we get. I'm not getting an indication one way or the other. I just did a reading for someone, a call back, and maybe I can't do it twice in a row. It's because it's not really my thing. But I'm looking at the cards, and we can try to interpret them this way. I have two cards of great happiness.
Okay.
So if there's someone who we have the stories of Summerland and places like that where when in the other world, as they say. But what I hear is just the 10 of Cups, which is perfected happiness, and the 4 of Rods, which is about a happy home. Mm-hmm. The Star. The Star. Now here's a card that should interest you. The Star is a card of optimism and hope, but it also means a child is coming. How do you like that?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
So, something. So I'm going to say that these cards refer to your original question and that I'm not getting an answer to your question about anyone who's passed. Because you got the 10 of Cups, which is the acme of happiness, and the 4 of Rods, which is a happy home, and then the Star. See, the thing about the card with the Star is in many decks, it shows in the background of the picture on the card, it shows a tree, and there's a little bird sitting in the tree, and that little bird is the soul of a child waiting to be born.
Oh, wow.
So I'm taking this as I told you there are cards that relate to that, and I didn't get them, and then here it is. I shuffled the card and got it again. I got it. That card, the Star. The Empress is another one that indicates children, but the Star is really strong. So I'm going to say that we're not getting an answer to your second question, and I will chastise the cards for that later. But we are getting a card. The 10 of Cups reinforces that reading of a period of great happiness coming your way. The 4 of Rods is a happy home, and why wouldn't it be a happy home? And the Star is that card of hope and optimism, but more importantly, it indicates the coming of a child. So that's the question that the cards are answering for you.
That's amazing. That was my number one question.
It looks very good for you. Yeah, that seems to be the important one. Maybe you call back another time and I can take a look at some afterlife stuff. How's that? Or you know what it is?
That would be amazing.
Check the Ask One Radio lineup, because there are a lot of psychic mediums at Ask One Radio, and they can probably give you a much deeper look at it than I can.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so very much.
So, my pleasure, and congratulations in advance. Thanks for
I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah. I know the tarot can take the surprise out of anything, though. But it's nice to know. Thanks for calling, Allie.
All right. Thank you so very much.
Now. And now we're all shuffled up. You are listening to Reverend Elliot's Magical Window. That's me, Reverend Elliot, where we get together to discuss the world of tarot and look through the magical window to see what's going on in our lives. Now, listen, folks, this is something very important. This goes to the heart of so many things in life. I hear from people who ask me this one question, which is, it's kind of an interesting question. Why do you get so many good readings for people? Now, listen to the readings today we've had so far. There's lots of happiness there. Even in a case of something so sad as suicide, there's a happy outcome in the readings. I get because people are conditioned by movies where a person goes to a tarot reader in a movie and generally they get told, oh, look at that, your house is going to blow up and you're going to be eaten by a plant. And I am not exaggerating. You take a look. It's a nice movie. It's called Dr. Terror's House of Horrors, which is about a tarot reader. Go figure, right? But we are far less... we're more benign than that. Let's face it. So the people are conditioned to hearing bad news from tarot readers, and I suspect that there's some people who want to hear me say, oh, look at the cards. Get your affairs in order, you're going to die. That doesn't happen. One of the reasons the tarot cards rarely predict death is because apparently, along with taxes, that's a certainty. Could you imagine if I shuffled it? Would they do a horror movie that has somebody shuffle up the cards and said, you are going to owe a lot of money to the IRS? No, but they always say you're going to die. The Red Violin is an exception. That movie, which took place in medieval times and in modern times simultaneously, showed a tarot reader as just a normal part of everyday life for people. And it is, well, here in New York City, there used to be people who would go to a tarot reader for a $15 quick reading because they said, in New York, it's $15 to have someone to talk to. Is worth it. It's cheaper than a psychotherapist also. But that's not quite what tarot is for. But why do I get all these good readings? Because people who call and ask a tarot reader about a situation in their life, first of all, understand that there's a situation in their life that they need to explore. So being aware of a situation in your life, that's 90% of the battle right there. A lot of people don't know what hit them. But if you know, that's a beautiful first step. The next step is you're asking somebody to help you. And anybody who's open to asking for help has a very positive attitude. Leave me alone. I can do it. I can handle it myself. Well, famous last words, right? But this is why I firmly believe that the readings come out so positive. I'll tell you something. It would be an interesting show if I got a really horrific reading for somebody, because I would keep that person on until the reading got better. That's the other thing. The point of tarot reading is not to scare you. Hammer films to the contrary. Tarot reading does not exist to scare you. Now, listen to the callers we had earlier today. The people were nervous when they started the phone call and ended up laughing and smiling and happy. Bingo, right? That's what it's all about. Now, we don't shy away from reporting what may be considered bad news. I don't think there is such a thing as bad news. I think it's just news. I think it's just data, and we can do with it. Like, even if the card said that you're gonna lose your job and you're gonna be destitute and you're gonna be broke, at least you know that that's coming, and you can maybe take steps to correct it. And then we do another reading in a few weeks, and who knows, maybe the future has changed because you know about the threat that's coming and you did something about it. This is the whole point behind it. It's not just, hey, look, something terrible is going to happen to you. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye. No, we work together, even if we have to instigate some kind of magical work in order to send out positive energy, such as I said to the caller earlier, that I am going to light a candle for her and for her departed husband. I'm going to light a white positive energy candle. I'm going to anoint it with the holy oil, and I'm going to use that to send positive energy. Now, that's a magic ritual of the kind that human beings must have been doing since we discovered fire. And that's a very simple kind of magic. Candle magic is so simple that if you look at my page at my website, magic-works.com, about candle magic, you'll find that there's almost nothing there because it's so simple, I don't know where to begin writing about it. So, I put up a link to a book about candle magic, a classic book that you can still find. There's a revised edition in print. You can still find the original copy on eBay. Not terribly expensive, but not cheap. There's all kinds of things that you can do. Candle magic, moon magic, all these things are what people have been using for centuries to enhance our lives and to protect ourselves. And to not just protect ourselves, but to protect others and to help others. This is the whole art of the esoteric practitioner. We don't sit in a laboratory with beakers of bubbling colored chemicals and try to hurt people. We try to help people, and that's the main thing. I'm going to say this every show if I can. There are two things that I'm about. One is eliminating fear. Unnecessary fear. Fear itself is a good thing. Fear itself alerts us to danger. But when we live in a chronic state of fear, and there are people in this society who are paid millions of dollars to scare us, we call them news people. Now, I'm a newspaper publisher myself, a small newspaper, but it's nevertheless a newspaper publisher. And I will publish things that are not designed to scare people. I mean, there's a disease going around the world now. There's not one single person in New York City who has this illness. And yet I hear every day from people who are terrified that they're going to die from this illness here in New York. Somebody put that in your head. That's the first thing I'm about, is getting rid of the fear that people plant in your head just so that they can make money. The second thing that I want to be very clear about is positive energy. See, you can make a choice of which way to go, negative energy or positive energy. And positive energy is good. And that's why I say to people in every show, if I can try. If you want to go to a tarot reader and you want to know how to find an honest, decent tarot reader, the main thing is, how do you feel after the reading? If you come away from a tarot reading feeling worse than when you started the reading, forget it. That person is doing a number on you. What you heard today so far on the show is typical for a tarot reading, where the person will get information, and even if it's not what they wanted to hear, they'll say, the one thing we hear so often is, you've really taken a load off my mind. You've relieved me. Now, it's better when it's really happy, but it can be this, I was worried that this might happen, and now you say, the cards say it is going to happen, but you're going to work with me and show me a way not to have it happen. And by the way, that isn't going to cost an arm and a leg either. Beware of the person who says, I see something terrible coming your way, and for $2,000 I can fix it. Just run. That's not how it works. Did you hear me tell anybody I said I'm going to light a candle for you? Did you ever hear me say I'm going to send you a bill? No, it doesn't work that way. This is about positive energy and storing up good karma and good energy. And yeah, I do charge for what I do privately, but I don't charge anything unreasonable. And that's always open to negotiation anyway. I always hope that if somebody wants something that I do and they think that it's more money than they're willing to pay or that they can pay, that they would have no problem with telling me that. And then we'll work something out to get something we're both okay with. I don't want money to ever come between me and occult work. That's not what it's about. As I said, I publish a newspaper. I have other endeavors. I'm a book publisher. There's all kinds of ways to have money come in. I don't make a ton of money, but I don't need it. I'm perfectly happy with my economic state. as it is. I'm not one of these people. Can you imagine? That's what I say to people about with billionaires. Can you imagine being a billionaire? You know what that means? That means you once had $900 million and it wasn't enough. Whoa, talk about having a problem. Well, anyway, that's my positive energy message, and that's why you hear so many positive readings when I read for people. Cards are shuffled up. Let's get in a call now. Kayla in St. Thomas, Ontario is next. Hi, Kayla. You're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you tonight, Kayla?
I'm good, thank you. I'm excited.
Oh, excellent. Oh, good, good. I'm sorry to keep you waiting so long. I went off on a tangent there. I bubbled over with words. So what can I look at for you?
No, that's okay.
You have my complete attention.
Pardon?
What can we look at now? What would you like me to look at?
Like a reading.
Okay, anything in particular? On what?
Just my everyday life, I guess. What's going on with me now?
Okay. Let's just shuffle them up and see what the cards show is going on. And you let me know if I'm on the right track, and if not, I'll just shuffle them up again, and we'll do it again.
Okay.
Now the cards are all shuffled. Okay, now here we go. This is an interesting series of cards here. The first is the World. Now that is a card of assured success. The World means that you're going to do well. That's about succeeding at what you want. Now I'm glad to see that one, because the next card I'm concerned about. The Five of Swords is about something that didn't work out. It's about a defeat. Fives are really nasty in tarot. But it also indicates that you may have been cheated and treated unfairly. Has something like that been going on in your life?
Yes.
Okay. This is why the first card is the World. The World is saying everything's going to be okay, but let's take a look at what's going on. The Five of Swords, somebody treated you very unfairly. Now the Nine of Rods is next. That's a fascinating card in this context, because in most decks, the Nine of Rods shows a person who is standing next to 9 sticks, big staffs. And there's a bandage on her head, meaning, you've been kind of beaten a little bit. You've been bloodied a little bit, but you're still standing. You're well prepared. What happened toughened you up. You learned a lesson from it, and you're prepared to handle whatever comes your way. So, although you were treated unfairly, and you were pretty much cheated out of something, is what it looks like to me, you're not dwelling on, you're not going into the self-pity route here. You're stronger.
No, I definitely
you know what happened. Yeah, so now the good thing is the next card is the Two of Cups. That's a card of something new coming in your life and happiness. Sometimes it means a new relationship. If you're in a relationship, it means the relationship will reach a new level. But it's telling me that somebody did something wrong to you. You learned from it. You got stronger from it, and something good is going to come out of that, and you're going to be happy. Oh, and here we go, the ultimate one. We began with the sun, with the World, and we end with the Sun, which is a card of growth and healing. And that's what it is. You took this as a healing experience. You don't have to go into any details if you don't want to, but I'm just saying that if you thought that you were treated unfairly, you were. Believe me, the cards show you were treated unfairly. So you knew that,
100%.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I was blind at first,
does that fit in?
Then I started to pick up on it.
Well, when people treat us badly, and we are not bad people, we look for the best. If somebody, I always make it very clear to people, if somebody is setting out to deceive you, it's no sin to be deceived. It's not your fault. You're not doing anything wrong. I mean, you woke up to it, and you saw what's going on, and you took action, and it made you stronger. But there's no shame in being deceived by somebody who has made it a goal to deceive you. Let's put it that way. And it happens to all of us at times. We all get raked over the coals by somebody. And the real question is, what does that do to us? How do we handle that in life? And you handled it, from what I see, in a way that's going to really improve your life. You know, it's going to be, you're going to do well because you learn from it, you're stronger from it, and something good is coming out of it. That's the Two of Cups, and the sun is healing and growth and happiness. And the Six of Coins is a card here. That's an interesting one. That tells me that there may be some money coming your way, maybe as a result of what was done to you.
Yeah.
So,
I can't wait. I hope something good comes out of it. I need something
well,
good to come out of it.
Something good already came out of it, in that you knew what was going on and you stopped it from going on any further. So at least that's good. That's small comfort sometimes, but it's something. And it shows that you're aware. You know, there's, I mean, at first we feel like we feel foolish, but don't, because there are people who specialize in tricking other people. I think we call those politicians, but I don't want to go. I don't want to go there right now. But we can't. We just have to take that in our stride and learn from it. You didn't ignore it. You didn't dwell on it. You learned from it. You moved on, and you're entering a period of happiness and growth and healing. And that money is going to be like icing on the cake for you.
Good. I like to hear that.
Yeah, well, it's a very positive reading. And I think it's worth remembering that the first card I got for you is the World. So the cards are said you're going, that's a card of success. So even though you got mistreated and cheated and lied to and treated badly, the first card is, don't worry about it, you're going to come out on top.
Yes.
Because I don't often see the card of success followed by something like the Five of Swords, which is a card of loss, you know, and being cheated. So it's good. It's the cards are saying to you, here's our message. You're going to come out of this fine. And I like that. You're a very positive person, right?
I like it too. I try to be anyways.
Well, you know, a lot of us try, and I think it looks like you've succeeded. In fact, the next card I have here is the Ten of Cups. I got that earlier today. That's a card of perfected happiness. So this is just going to be a blip in your life, and one day, you know, you're going to look on it and say, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that." See, because you're not dwelling on it, and that's good. So keep that up, because you're going to be you're coming out of this okay. All right, Kayla?
Yeah. That made me happy. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to thank you for calling. I'm going to try to get one more call in. Bye-bye now. And you see what I mean about how a tarot reading should leave a person feeling upbeat and good and better. And I saw a lot in those cards that Kayla was, you know, she was not treated well and is handling it just beautifully. I mean, I'm not saying that everybody should do it that way. This is her way. That's the other thing I don't like, is people say, why can't you be more like that person? Oh, because I'm not that person. That's the answer. Crystal in New Britain, Connecticut. Hi, Crystal. You're on with Reverend Elliot.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you, Crystal?
Good.
Great. Well, we have a few minutes left. What can I look at for you?
I'm not too specific about anything. Just tell me something. Anything.
Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see what we've got. I'm going to give them one more shuffle. And see what we have. Well, this card came up earlier for somebody, and it's a nasty looking card, but it's good. Have you had some difficult times lately? Because the Ten of Swords is here. That's a card that means the worst is over. Have you been going through some difficulties?
Yeah, I have.
Well, this is good, because that's a card that says the worst is over. Now, the next card is fascinating because it's a card of justice. And that tells me that you're going to get justice. Whatever happened to you, whatever the bad time was, it's going to work out in your favor. In fact, it's very strongly going to happen, because I have the two strongest cards of that possible here, Justice and Temperance. If this was like a lawsuit going on, I would say that you're going to win.
Oh.
Thank you.
Do you have a lawsuit going on?
I do not.
Okay, well, good. The less that happens, the better. But if you did, this would be, the temperance card is telling me that balance will be restored. Justice is telling me that you're going to get what you deserve, what you should have gotten before. And the next card, and this is one of the happiest cards in the deck, the next two, I've had this now 2 times tonight, 3 times. The Ace of Cups and the 10 of Cups. That's the whole gamut of cups. The Ace of Cups is a card of new period of happiness coming. And the 10 of Cups is here. It's the perfected happiness. So we started out with a nasty-looking card called the 10 of Swords, which shows a person lying face down in the mud with 10 swords in her back. But that doesn't mean you're dead. That just means that life threw its worst at you, and you're still here. So then that's followed by Justice and Temperance, which tells me the situation is going to be rectified in your favor. And then Ace of Cups and 10 of Cups is you're entering a wonderful period of happiness. Everybody's entering a period of happiness according to the readings tonight. So that's good. So you know something? The 10 of Swords literally means the real troubles are behind you now. And you're entering that happiness, that period of happiness. And the Justice and Temperance card tell me that it's going to work out really well for you.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure. And congratulations, because you've suffered. You've been through enough, and that's what the 10 of Swords means. Just that you've been through enough, and you're still here. It's almost like life threw its worst at you and said, "Well, we can't hurt her anymore. Let's go hurt someone else." Because the worst is over. I get that card frequently for people, but what I really like about your reading is getting the Justice card and the Temperance card. That tells me that it's all going to be balanced out, and you're going to do well. So let me know how it works out. I'm easy to reach. I can be reached through Ask One Radio. I can be reached through my website, magic-works.com, MAGICK. And I'll give you and everyone listening my email, because not everybody could get through for a reading tonight. If you want, you can. Anybody listening can contact me for another reading, for a free consultation is what I mean. I'd be more than happy to do that. My email is asktarot, ASKTAROT, @earthlink.net. Nice old-fashioned email, earthlink.net. So keep me posted, okay, Crystal? Because the bad times are over, and you're heading for really, really good times. And I got to run. I've got to get out of here. I got like a minute and change to go. So thanks
thank you so much. You have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. And, folks, that's it. We've come to the end of another edition of Reverend Elliot's Magical Window. God, we're creeping up on 300 shows in the archives now. Slowly but surely. It's going to happen later this year. I mean, another maybe 4 or 5 months, I think we're going to hit the 300 show mark. And then we'll do 301. We just keep plodding along. I'm sorry for all the folks who wanted to get on who couldn't get on, but like I said, you can drop me a line at asktarot@earthlink.net, and I will be more than happy to pull a few cards for you. It's the first email I check every day when I get up. Notice I didn't say every morning. I hate mornings. I used to tell people that I was 27 before I realized there were 2 7 o'clocks in one day. I'm not a morning person. Also, remember, there are certain things that I mentioned, certain books, like Reverend Elliot Explains It All. That's my wonderful book on life and magic and what magic can do for you. You can find that along with that book, Unmasking Fear. Remember, I told you, that's my priority. Getting rid of fear in our lives, unmasking fear. Check that out at mojoacademy.org, mojoacademy.org. There is a book there that will change your life. So we'll be back next Wednesday at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, 9 Mountain, and 8 Pacific. This is Reverend Elliot saying till then, remember, time flies. It's up to you to be the navigator. Bye-bye now.